Okay, and we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Land of Dreams and Nightmares. I am Esper, your merciful dungeon master, and I have our three adventurous souls back with us, Adam, Dennis, and Warsor. You guys want to give a quick announcement of your characters?
Usually start
As
with
always, I'm Adam, and I'm playing Kivish, the Dwarven Circle of Dreams Druid.
Warsor.
Okay. I am Warsor. I'm playing Noxiqual, the human hexblade warlock.
Hey guys, my name is Dennis. I play Lykarr, the level 6 Storm Sorcerer.
When we last left off, the party had made their way to the Ambrosia Temple. They avoided the scouting party of House Eck, using cleverness and magic to hide from them, fool them, and otherwise escape any potential danger or other complications. You re-encountered with Nikon One Eye, the Null Mystic, and his couple allies. You returned to the temple. You refilled the pool of Morpheus, and Lykarr, you were healed in those waters.
Yes, Lykarr is very happy.
Lykarr no longer has the strange mark spreading across his body. You're cleansed. You and Kivish both received a boon from the god Morpheus.
And a quest.
And a sort of quest, a task, if you will, to find a new guardian, or perhaps guardians, to protect the Ambrosia Temple. Valna, this eccentric elven woman, is going to stay there, though she wasn't actually unclear on how long she would stay. She was more saying, I'll stay for as long as I need to. She had a pretty free-spirited way about her. Kobe is still with you. Let's see. Oh, and you also have the man and the boy. You have Marley, who you got him to actually talk. Someone uncursed him.
Yeah, I cast Remove Curse last time.
Yes,
so
Kivish uncursed.
Anything other than curses.
Yeah, he's freed of the cursing curse. And
we learned that it was some sort of worship, like that they were going to like sacrifice boy to like an old one or something.
He essentially stumbled onto his wife and a robed ally of hers performing a rite that was actually stealing or draining the boy's soul. And that's when he got tangled up and he got cursed. He got branded as a ne'er-do-well-in, wife-beaten SOB, and nearly received judicial punishment because of that.
Now, am I remembering wrong, or was the ally of his wife actually like a nephew of House Eck?
I don't know.
I think that was your characters were speculating that, but it was not something that got.
Right. That's right.
It's not something that actually got. There was no information about that. But you have him with you, Marley, and then you also have the boy, Bowen Drigsby, the young caver boy, thief, and
got his soul back.
Yes, he was restored in the waters. Yeah, and he became more like a normal little boy after that, and he wants to go home to mommy.
Does he know if we are passing by the Cactus Forest way, how to get back to his family?
He says it's close.
Okay.
He says that he's played in the Cactus Forest before, but Mama says it's dangerous.
All right. What of the man? I have his name.
Marley.
Marley.
Mhm.
Yes. What of Marley? Will he accompany me out of the peninsula, or will he?
So Marley Eppenkoff, he says that he gave you his word that he will hire onto your ship, and he is very nervous about returning to Horncombe Lodge and wants to avoid that place.
Then come with me into the real world. So, all right. I say we head for the cactus forest as we planned.
Okay. So just a quick glance at the map for that. Okay. So we are at the moment here, and the plan is going to be to trek for maybe 2 days and to take this southern pass through the cactus forest and not the northern pass, which goes close to the settlement there. Okay. Everyone ready to take off?
Yeah, do we see One Eye and his cactus triad as we leave the temple?
As you're leaving the temple, they are nowhere to be seen.
I wave to the emptiness, assuming they're watching.
Okay, you wave. A tumbleweed rolls past you.
Kikan may have one good eye, but I assume it's everywhere at once, looking at everything. Also, I don't know why it took me this long to think about it, but I wonder who Merkalon was, or what Merkalon was.
Yes, yeah. It's I think it's an old story of a like a giant sea serpent thing, and that's his jawbone is what formed that peninsula.
Because Merkalon's jaw, if Dens Moeras is a like the top of a head, Merkalon's jaw definitely forms like a mandible.
Take some levels of Bard. Sounds like you're getting all this cool knowledge.
Yeah, that could be the top, and this swamp is his brains.
He's got a squishy brain.
The party exits the temple. You're in the wagon. You have two sturdy draft horses that are pulling a much lighter load now. And you commence with the travels. You travel throughout a day. It's partly cloudy, a little breezy. It's not too hot. It's fairly comfortable as you're leaving here. It's an arid area, so it's good to keep up on the water. But after that scorcher the other day, today's pretty mild weather. You traverse, and you come to the in the following day. You pass through the area of sinkholes, and so you're essentially leaving the territory of Kikan One Eye. Again, he and his allies nowhere to be seen. You make camp for a night, and then the following morning you're proceeding. Later in this day, you plan that near dusk you'll be arriving the cactus forest. Do you have any particular way in which you're going about your travels? I'm sure you've got enough water to keep everyone hydrated and the horses for this day. Probably have enough rations for it too, but they won't last for too much longer after that.
Well, the cactus forest should probably be full of forageable stuff.
Okay. So Kivish thinks that some foraging should be pretty tangible or pretty attainable in the cactus forest. What about potential scouting parties, or what are you doing while you're traveling? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are that we keep an eye out, but honestly, I think that if the scouting party went back towards Horncombe Lodge, they're either going to hit the lodge, realize that they lost us, give up, or they're going to come out with a greater force, and we'll hopefully see that. So, I don't know.
Okay, so you're keeping your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you're making good time, going just at a normal pace.
Correct.
Okay.
Need to kill the horses in this case.
Mm-hmm. The party traverses throughout the second day. The mild weather gets a little bit hotter, but nothing too significant. Everybody make a survival check.
All right.
Okay. Let me grab my dice.
That is a 21.
Success.
Sorry, I forgot to pull my dice out here, so just a second.
I got a 16.
16 success. Is that a Crown Royale bag?
It is.
Classy.
I know. It's the way to do it right.
I mean, does anybody not use Crown Royal bags?
That's like a classic dice bag.
I have a nice little dice bag that was a gift from a friend. It came from like a gaming store, but I kind of like the Crown Royal bag. I got a 17.
All right, you all succeeded. By the way, I have an old TSR dice bag. It's got a little bit of wear on it, but not too much. I'll show it off real quick. Okay.
Oh,
I
nice.
like it.
Yeah, so it's the retro deal.
TSR, man.
I actually never played first or second edition, but I have a good friend, and his dad was like a major gamer during the 70s and 80s, and so that was like gifted to me through the friends family. Yeah.
I'll show you something that I have over here in a box just downstairs after the game session's over. It's like the original first edition little pamphlets.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Yeah.
The survival check has to do with some details in the ground as you're traveling here. You all pick up on something. There are the indications that there was not so much a fight. It doesn't look like a scuffle or a skirmish, as more as a blitz, like a quick hit, and something captured or seized a horse and took off with it, as in the horse is disappeared. The horse is gone. You see the horse tracks, and there's kind of like this stamping about sort of indications, and then no more horse. And there's even some old dried blood.
Well, that's not
Is anywhere near the Rock's Nest?
You are very close to the Rock's Nest.
That would be my hypothesis, that a rock, because there's no tracks on the ground.
Yeah.
It's only
And
disappeared.
realistically, there are very few things big enough to do that to a horse.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I say we.
It appears that the Rock feasted upon the scouting party from the Horncomb Lodge, or at least one of their horses.
Interesting.
Nice. Oh shit! If we had been clever, we could have even led them into that trap.
That's true.
Intentionally, we could have done it. It just unintentionally, it just so happened to happen.
No, I don't know. Just purely thinking from like a nature predator standpoint, I don't know that a rock would necessarily go after like an entire scouting party. It's just a really, really big bird.
Well,
It's
it just
not
wants
like-
the horse. Clearly,
Well,
it didn't
that's
kill the
true,
whole
that's
party.
true.
It took the horse.
Right.
It appears that it snatched up a horse. Only that. And you've been fairly well avoiding this spot, but after seeing this, these details in the ground, Kivish alters his previous path that he took, and he figures it'll be a little safer, even safer if we, cut around this away, and we're kind of a more visible target now as well. We got horses, so you take your precautions and skirt around, and there's no sight of the Rock. Maybe she's at home gorging herself. And so it was fairly smooth travels all told. And as you had projected, It's dusk when you arrive the edge of the cactus forest. The caver boy indicates that his cave is just up yonder. So can you see my little
Yes.
Yep.
mouse pointer? Okay, so it seems to be like it's up this way.
So like just northeast of the cactus forest.
Yeah. So from where you all would be kind of like down here.
And
So it seems like it's north, just heading pretty much due north.
I'd like to ask him a question. The caves that he lives in, do they go through the entire plateau?
Oh, yeah, that would be useful.
He says there are some tunnels, but he's not allowed to go into the tunnels.
Who among the party?
He says that there are, there are some of the braver souls of their clan, or maybe their clans, will go into the tunnels, but these are more the warrior types that will go in there. They don't let little kids and go spelunking, and pretty much nobody wants to unless you're just a brave, adventurous, hardy type.
I still vote that we go through the cactus forest. I prefer to be on the outside, avoiding any collapsing and getting stuck. But if anyone's in favor of going and talking to the cavers and seeing if they have a way around the cactus forest through their tunnels, I'm willing to listen.
Kivish wouldn't object to just going the cactus forest route. He's used to forests.
If we take the kid there, and maybe they could put in a good word for us with the caver people and be a good people to supply us with water, and maybe.
I like how you think there. We could at least get a little bit of water and food. We'll need it to get all the way out.
And maybe they could give us the scoop on the cactus forest, a little more information.
Or on what's going on back at Horncombe Lodge if they have any eyes on the place.
Yeah, the boy will put a good word in for us, right?
I look at him.
So you look at Bowen, and he says, like, "Oh,
Treat with us fairly.
My mom makes really good food. Yeah. Do you want to have dinner at my house?"
I think that'd be amenable.
Are you going to travel through the night, or are you going to camp up here?
Let's I thought we were like mostly traveling during the evenings anyways, trying to avoid the hottest part of the day.
Okay, so tomorrow like early morning, you'll make your way to the caves.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds like the plan. Okay. You make a camp here at the night on the edge of the cactus forest. The night goes by still and peacefully. The following day, the sun comes up. You all wake up, drink, eat, and keep heading northbound. You always have the cactus forest in sight to your left-hand side, and at a distance, it does bear a forest-like look because there are many sections of it that are dense. There is no canopy, there is no foliage per se, but there are many cacti that are very, very large. So it seems a pretty green area, distinct looking. You even see signs of more life there. There are hawks circling overhead, for example. The caves come into view just a couple hours later. You've passed by a couple of them first, and you get some looks from those that are posted up kind of close by. They definitely bear a barbarian look to them. They have just less sophistication in all of their accoutrements, from their clothing to, maybe they have like these bows or spears that have a little more primitive look to them. They watch you all from a distance. They don't really approach or make any movements or call out or anything. And the boys saying like, "Oh, that's the Snaggletooth clan, and those are the Bear Skull clan." And he's talking about like how, they'll wallop you on the head with the club if you get too close. And he's just kind of gabbing. And then he spots his cave, which is pretty unimpressive to say the least. If you were walking by real quick, you might not even notice it. But he picks it up real easily. And the out front, there are some people that are, keeping some goats and growing some crop. What they can get to grow here. The people are very suspicious looking. It's clear that y'all ain't from around these parts. But they see that you have the boy, and they're just keeping an eye, like, what's going on here? Eventually, some people get the word spreading, and a lot of people come pouring out of this small cave mouth. There are some warrior-looking ones. They've got some thicker animal skins on them, and they've got like spears and bows and arrows and slings and hand axes and such. Some of them have a bit of a scavenger look about them. Like, there's a guy with like a rusty helmet that maybe he got off of a soldier, and you can tell they've scavenged different bits. There are a lot of them just look like simple folk. Some foul teeth here and there. The boy's mom comes rushing out, and there are a couple other children. He has like a brother and a sister, and his mom has a man that's close to her, but the boy has indicated that his true father died when he was just a couple years old. He never really knew him well. The mother comes out, and she's, "Oh, my boy!" And she's all screaming and crying, and they're hugging each other, and she's kissing him.
I watched the man while the interactions are going on.
Mm-hmm.
His reaction to the boy's return.
He stays closer to the two other kids.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of watching. He doesn't go up and hug Bowen, but he's very close by, and he's just keeping an eye. He kind of glances at your party here and there too.
Mm-hmm.
And the boy tells like how he was going to get executed, and these folks here, they came and they got me out of the jail, and I thought we were gonna get captured by the guards again, but then we were hiding and they used magic. And he just kind of just telling the whole thing to his mom, and the way that like an 8-year-old or so would talk. And she looks at you, and there's that reservation of who are these strangers, but she seems to be understanding that you guys helped too.
I'd like to put extend a little olive branch here with my high charisma, see if I can, kind of break the ice a little bit, and announce to everyone that's hearing, and kind of that projecting voice, but talking to the mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have come from Horncomb Lodge and returned the son who was to be executed, rescuing him from the evil X who would slay a boy unjustly. I'm trying to, I'm choosing my words in such a way that appeals to the cavers and letting them know that we're not strangers necessarily so much as potential friends.
Mm-hmm. Good. Roll a persuasion check.
I'll do that.
I will give you advantage as well, since you just saved this woman's child.
Thank you. I will grab my other die and roll that. Excellent. Got 10 on the first one, but 17 on the other one, which plus persuasion, 22.
22. Okay. You're my boy's hero. Oh, what can I do to thank you?
All that we ask is for a little water to fill our skins, a little bit of food, and a chance to talk about a way back to the mainland out of Merkelon's jaw.
Oh, yeah, I'd be happy to feed y'all, water your horses. Where'd you say y'all from again?
We come from the mainland, beyond Merkelon's jaw.
Okay, that's why you got that funny talk.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that he was gone forever. I thought I'd never see my boy again. And she starts crying more. And the man comes and he puts a hand on her and he's like, there's. He's okay now. And he also is looking at the boy. He doesn't look hurt. He looks like he's doing good. Well, he probably doesn't talk like that. He's probably, hey, ain't look like they ain't hurt him none. Why you want to do right by us for, huh? We simple folk out here.
Because we are no friends of the X of Horncombe Lodge. We seek water, shelter for a night, and then passage on to out of the Merkelon's jaw. Your boy did not deserve to die.
Yeah. Well, that boy's got some sticky fingers on him. One time I caught him trying to swipe some of my mead. I had to give him a good whacking.
That may be so, but you whacked him. You did not sentence him to execution.
Oh, Lord Eck, he's a hard ass.
He may be dead, I believe. I heard some rumor that he may not be doing very well.
Lord Eck's dead? Well, he's really old. The woman's saying this here. I hardly believe he's still alive. I think he's been around for, darn near 100 years, nearly a century old. Yeah, probably his time.
I cannot confirm that, but he is not well, was the last I heard.
He certainly was a very, very old man.
Mm-hmm.
What are you? Are you a gnome?
What is a gnome?
What do you know?
What is a gnome?
Wakashino? I ain't never heard of that before.
What is a gnome?
Okay, they them small folk like you got big noses.
Well, I don't think that I am one of them. I am a dwarf. You might call me, I am of the Noral from Norgal's Rock.
Oh, you from Norgal's Rock? I had a cousin once. She took vacation up there. She said she got bit by mosquitoes.
We have those sometimes in the summer and the spring. And
she invites you all inside to eat, and they'll be happy to give feed and water to the horses. And you get a lot of looks, lots of looks. But you were seen as heroes, even though you're outsiders, and they're pretty mistrusting people here. You get a lot of questions as well. A lot of just all kinds of people come up and ask you questions like, can you do magic? And is that a sword? And they just are all kind of like, as soon as they kind of let their guard down and realize that you want to help them, they get real curious and they ask you all kinds of questions.
I try to remembering the reaction of some to the last magic tricks that I performed. Some people laughed, some people went crazy, a little bit. I try to subtly steer the conversation away from magic.
If anybody asks me about magic, if anybody asks Kivish about magic, I'm gonna cast the Druidcraft cantrip to just have a small seed in my hand and make it sprout. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell anybody who watches it that they can do it too, and put a small pebble in their hand and ask them to concentrate really hard on it, and then walk away.
Oh, yeah, there's like 5 kids and a couple adults, and they're like, yeah, I want to try it.
All right, I give them each a small pebble and tell them to concentrate, and then walk away.
All right, so you leave this group of people staring at rocks in their hands ineffectively. Well, I guess I should roll a d20. There's always that slight chance somebody's got a little something. No.
It'd be really cool if we discovered a sorcerer that way.
Well, that did not happen. At least not at this moment. So you get all kinds of questions. Noxiqual, for the most part, uses his social abilities to steer things away from getting too probing into the mystical realm. They give you all food, and they feed you really well, and so they give you, like, lamb chops and scrambled eggs and jerky and pheasant breast, and they've got these kind of sweet potatoy things that they cook up, and they make their own the ale and mead. They have a cask of honey, and you see the seal of Horncombe Lodge on it.
We actually, yeah.
I mean, haven't they? I thought the Horncombe Lodge people, whether House Eck or just their retainers, had like a monopoly on the local honey in the region.
Regionally, you could say that. Across all of Dreckengrim, they are the status quo producers of honey.
Interesting.
Something tells you that they probably didn't go and purchase that honey fair and square.
I see. I guess
it also looks like they've had that cask for a long time, and they're not so generous with the honey, but whatever.
Never goes bad, so yeah.
Yeah. They do also eat some humbler fare, like you see some eating like roasted up locusts and scorpions, and they eat just kind of anything really here. So you've got in really well with the cavers, or at least this clan here. Let me go jump over to my NPC document here. Oh no, wrong button. Still there? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Clan, were they again, if you don't mind my asking?
This is the Firefly clan.
Just in case. You never know when we have to come back here someday.
Yep.
And they as they're eating, they also talk about their own exploits. They're in the company of heroes now. So, you feel like the big burly warrior guy talk about how he, split the skulls of, the Snaggletooth clan's chief and his warriors, and they're all kind of like bragging, and they're like arm wrestling each other, and they're getting a little saucy with their drinking too.
I say, well, Lykarr over there slew a basilisk just the other day. Didn't you with I believe? I think you have something else.
You look like you're a pretty skinny guy to be killing a basilisk.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, they can.
All right, so you just kind of play it off cool, and overall, it is a joyous moment. They are a somewhat simple folk, but you can tell that they certainly, expend a lot of effort and live in a harsh environment, and so they certainly do what they must to survive and provide for their families. And you see the bit of social structuring that they have going here. Just it's a far less sophisticated than what you've seen in the cities and towns.
Well, I'd like to ask them about what they know about the cactus forests and also possibly tunnels through the plateau.
Okay. So the there's some different characters here that are talking with you. That we'll just kind of stick with that warrior guy, so he can kind of just be the voice of what several people are inclined to say regarding the cactus forest. That's a right dangerous place there, that is. But if you go in there well prepared and not afraid for a bit of fighting, you should make your way through. In all my years, I done trek through there many times. Now, you go in very far, that's where it's going to get dangerous. You stay out here on the edge, it's not so bad. One time I was with a group of the fellas here, and we were beset upon by what looked like cactus men. Yeah, and they was throwing their spines at us. So we just hit the trail. We hit the dirt. We got out of there. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be shot to death by a bunch of cactus thorns.
Indeed.
Another guy, he's like got like his ale foam sloshed in his beard. He's like, they was some kind of plant man.
How about the tunnels through the plateau, possibly?
Well, we still working on those tunnels. There's one part that leads down to a cave, and we've not found anything like gold in there yet, but we're still exploring. It's not easy to go in there. It's real dark like. Have you been in a cave before?
Yes.
Once.
Okay, so you ain't got no light at all down there. So you gotta bring in torches. And then torches gonna burn out eventually. So you gotta be real careful like. We put some markings with chalk on the wall so we know where we going, where we've been, which way which. There's another part where we think we can get a tunnel that's going to come out the other side of the plateau, but we're still working on that. Okay, it's a long project.
Mm.
And he starts going into kind of logistics of how they're trying to tunnel through and get this access out on the other side of the plateau. And it actually gets kind of boring after a while, but they're exploring it. Yeah, you don't think that they've quite explored everywhere, especially with that cave that he was talking about. It doesn't seem like they really have the resources to go delving really far.
They're just clan folk. They're not. Yeah.
Yeah, you also pick up a little sense from them that it's kind of freaky. It's a pretty freaky thing if you think about it. Delving deep into caves and who knows what you're going to find, or you might get lost or stuck or have a cave in. It's not really a very comfortable thing.
For humans, at least.
Yeah.
Well, Kivish, whose people tunneled under a swamp, is going to listen intently and hear anything that he can learn from what the guy's saying, even if it's stuff that maybe others might not pick up on.
So you're listening to what he's describing, and an arrogant dwarf, or maybe you might think of as a good, proud dwarf, he would listen to this and just kind of, bah! You're like, they don't know what they're doing, and what are they worried about? And bleh. To you, it seems like a pretty simple cave that he's describing, and this tunneling thing. You're like, why are they, straining themselves? And they just get some real equipment and get some dwarves, and you'll have that tunnel done in a couple days.
Would I learn enough to perhaps make a history check regarding stonework?
For sure.
Okay, because I'm proficient with that thanks to stone cutting. And that probably doesn't help me much. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That actually does. That's a 22.
Okay. So without laying eyes upon it yourself personally, it seems that they have encountered a small cave. You imagine it's going to go down deeper under the plateau. It seems to be a natural cave. This clan's ability to work with stone is rudimentary, at least in terms of mining, excavating, tunneling, crafting with stone. Seems very rudimentary. Do you have any other specific questions that I might be able to answer regarding that check?
So he says that they're close to the other side. How would they know that? How are they able to judge their elevation underground and their proximity towards the other edge of the plateau?
From what you can tell, they're just guesstimating. Yeah, you listen to them talking, and I mean, the guy talks about these kind of logistical things until it gets boring. But it's probably boring most of all to you, because it's like listening to somebody who doesn't really know quite so much what they're doing. Like they seem very low skill level at this. And even though you're not exactly the tunneler yourself, you're from this people. You have a dwarven background. And so for you, it's probably the most boring of all. It's just like whatever, guy. Like these fools are just pissing around down there. Yeah, like that's like the arrogant, like that's like your uncle dwarf in your own mind.
Right.
That's like how he would be talking about these guys.
Right.
Have they encountered anything down in the tunnels?
They have not. So far, they have encountered no. I mean, other than little vermin, nope. It's rats and bats and slugs and snails and spiders, lizards, snakes. But you do get a sense that they're very they're either they're superstitious or they just have a natural instinctual fear of what might be down there, what could possibly. Maybe there's nothing, maybe there's slumbering dragon. It seems like a fairly small cave, though. It doesn't seem like this large cavern network.
Sounds more natural, cavey, and less underdarky.
Yes, yeah.
So.
Again, you haven't laid your eyes upon it, but just from the information they've given you, that's exactly the assessment. Was there any other question you guys had for them? You all mentioned the caves, the cactus forest. Was there another one?
I did have two questions, but I was just waiting for you to kind of wrap the others up.
Yeah.
One, this is on behalf of Lykarr and Kivish. Is there anyone here that stands out that looks like they might be interested in protecting Morpheus's domain? And if we put a seed in, water here, see if anyone's interested in going there.
So, if you remember, there was that group of people that were really interested in trying the little pebble experiment with Kivish. There is a totally randomizing everything here.
Mm-hmm.
There is a middle-aged woman, and she's a bit quiet, but you can tell, or just by observing her, she seems the one who's actually listening the most. While a lot of people are eager to kind of blurt out their own, I've done this and I've done that and we're good at this, and they just kind of talk about their life and answering your questions. She's the one that's like really like hanging on your guys' words and paying attention. And even when she did the pebble thing, she was like she seemed really in tune.
Mm-hmm.
That's your best lead, but she seems really, really.
She didn't actually make the pebble sprout the plant, did she?
So,
sadly, no.
Oh, okay.
There's only so much you can do with magic. But having noticed this, because I was looking for it, I will go over to Kivish and point her out to him and say, it looks like she listened more when you were talking. Talk to her about Morpheus. See if there's anything connection there, perhaps that you might find a protector. Perhaps not a primary protector, but as more protection for Morpheus cannot be a bad thing.
Funny you should mention that. She was the only one who kept her mouth shut long enough to actually listen to a sentence.
Yes.
I shall speak with her and see what is this all about. And he was just gonna, walk over all dwarven-like and essentially ask her, first of all, if she got anything to happen with the. He's not going to call it a pebble, but he's going to point at it.
Okay. So she, at your approach, she's a little timid. She's not with the group now. I mean, everyone's there together, but she's not, everyone was kind of like asking for the pebble simultaneously. So now you're kind of like singling her out. She's a little timid. Oh, I didn't get anything to happen there.
Well, your seed was a rock, so I am not surprised. However, you actually listened to me. You did not just... He makes some hand gestures and kind of trails off. But then when he returns to it, he's going to explain that her actually listening gave him the impression and gave his associate the impression that she might actually have something that might be useful. And I'm not entirely sure what he's going to ask her, aside from, like, if she's ever had... So he knows he's a druid. He's been a druid for a long time, over a century. He's had his mentor, who we haven't gotten into a whole lot of detail about yet, but who is somewhere behind the scenes, perhaps in his dreams. And so he knows, like, what a druid looks like a druid before they're really a druid.
Mm-hmm.
He would know probably the natural talents. He's going to ask her if she's had any dreams, any particularly interesting, notable, vivid, or otherwise prophetic dreams.
Oh, I've always been something of a dreamer, but there's one dream that I've had many times since I was a little girl. I'm standing in front of a big mountain that has snow on it, and there's a bird flying over it, a hawk with blue tip feathers.
Is that from one of your short stories? There's the one with the hawk. And
No.
There's no. All right.
And she says like how she's always dreamed of going and seeing snow-capped mountains and traveling to a far-off land.
And she can vividly describe the snow-capped mountain, which there's no possible way she ever would have actually been to enough to describe it like that in such detail.
Mm-hmm.
And probably has never even met anybody who's been to one. So, yeah.
There are some snowy mountains in northwestern Dreckengrim. That's pretty far from here.
Right.
And across some dangerous land.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, that's definitely interesting, and Kivish is going to mention how, just casually mention as you do, that he knows, I don't know, the god of dreams, and that there may be some sort of potential job opportunity for her, though he doesn't actually know himself, like, what all it would entail, but if she'd come to the Ambrosia Temple, there may be some chance to, achieve her true powers or something like that.
One time I had a dream that there was a big man sitting in a throne, and when he talked with me, I felt a warm sensation of peace go through my whole body. I only had that dream one time.
I described the way that Morpheus looks to her.
Yeah, that I think that's right. It's a long time ago that I had the dream. It's hard to remember.
Well, yeah, if that's the case, he's absolutely going to invite her to the Ambrosia Temple and see if she actually wants to meet the guy in the throne. Because he can.
Mm-hmm. She says she wants to. She whispers here. I want to, but I got a lot of things I have to do here. A lot of people rely on me.
People like whom?
Well, I help a lot with keeping the animals, and that's very important for us. Also, I take care of a lot of the kids during the daytime.
And are there not other people who could do the same thing just as easily?
Well, I could ask. She's a little uncertain, but you see that she does have interest. But leaving one's familiar environment, one's home, family, friends, town, going out into the dangerous wilds, that's a lot. She does seem you feel something in her. She seems like a pretty spiritually connected person.
So when she says the stuff about, leaving her family and her clan that she's been with all her life and traveling out in the world, he's probably going to spend the next inordinate amount of time, like over an hour, telling the story of how he did the same thing, and how long ago that was, and maybe some choice anecdotes. And it's probably going to get to the point where she's going to go a little cross-eyed. But he's going to end it with something along the lines of, well, So that is about how that happened to me. And well, you seem like a clever sort. I never got your name.
Wayla. Mine's Wayla. What's your name?
Kivish Algerorden of the clan of Urswamp.
Pleasure to meet you.
And he's probably going to pronounce that even more like over the top. Thick
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. Not fantastic at that, but we'll see what happens. Well, actually, no. That's probably not very good. That is an 8 plus nothing, so it's an 8.
You have talked her ear off.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that as it is. She has interest. She might have some connection, but for this very moment, that's a big, bold idea to leave everything she's ever known. We'll see.
All you had to do was plant the seed.
The seed is planted.
She'll
And it's not
decide
a
on her own.
It's an actual seed, not a rock.
Lykarr, do you have any particular interests or anything else you would like to do while you're here at the Firefly clan's cave?
No, I wanted some information on the surrounding area, and I think we should have a little powwow of exactly what our plans from here should be.
Okay. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Oh, I thought since you were bringing it up, you had the thought that you wanted to express first.
What?
I thought
Lykarr gets the party huddled together and says, okay, so if we go in too far, things are going to start getting more dangerous. There's some kind of plant thorn people. Does anyone want to roll a knowledge check on that?
Sure.
Nature check.
Nope. Not me.
A whole 7.
All right. Well, I'm maybe decent at it. If the thing will actually roll through my tower. Nope. I got another 8, which is a 9.
Okay. And Kobe the lion takes a big hunkin' bite off of a lamb chop, and I don't know nothing about that, boss. Okay, so no one is really sure what in the world these cactus things might be, but still, the question stands: what do we do? We're going to drive the wagon through. We're going to go on foot. What's the plan?
Well, the wagon's what we're just using to carry our supplies now, right? We don't need it for the barrels of water and all that.
Yeah, I mean, for now, the wagon's not serving any specific function.
Why don't we leave it with the cavers as a gift or something, and they can use it? I'm sure, that's pretty useful equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they wanted to use it to take stuff out of the caves, like the dirt and the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They can fit it, but yeah.
The wagon and the horses?
I think we could keep the horses. The big thing is I want to slim us down.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If we don't actually need the wagon for hauling water anymore, which we don't, the horses will actually increase our mobility, but the wagon probably won't.
No, the wagon's bulky. It'll get stuck in the cactuses and just slow us down.
It does limit where you can feasibly move. That is true.
Are we just leaving Bowen here? Is that the idea?
I would like to leave Bowen here. He seems happier here. He's got a soul back. Before, there was a lot of we didn't know information.
Right.
Now it's kind of turned into he was basically getting his soul extracted, which
right. But then Marley and Kobe are with us, so there are 5 total of us.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, that's a decent sized group for moving through the cactus forest, especially if we have 2 horses.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tynan the mini tar horse. So yeah.
Excellent. The Eppenkoff family has been reunited with their youngest member, Bowen, and there is much happiness. You gift the wagon and the barrels to the Firefly clan. They're very happy for that, and they try to give you what they can in terms of rations, water. They offer you like torches, a blanket.
Just
You need arrows.
We should be all right.
Okay. You all have each earned a half milestone.
Cool.
And we will head into the cactus forest.
Very worth it. So 2.5, which was made 3.
Do you enter during the daytime? Next day?
Yeah, it seems feasible. There'll be some shade from the cactuses, and yeah, it'll probably be a lot more active at night. So movement during the day through the cactus forest.
Yeah.
Good.
So you said, yeah, there isn't much of a canopy. How much shade would the cacti provide?
There are some really big ones.
Okay.
So there, of course, won't be as much shade as trees with leaves on them.
Right.
But there will be some shade.
And a lot of them are like tree size?
From what you saw at a distance, there were a variety of types of cactus. There are some of the more patchy ones that grow low to the ground.
Right.
There are others that are like skinny, spindly things with long spines, and there are some that are of fantastical sizes, the size of trees, the size of oaks and pines.
Right.
Let us proceed.
Okay. The following day, you take off, no longer burdened by the wagon, and you enter the cactus forest. So much as I described, there are some variations in the terrain. The cacti grow in just natural and sporadic patches. There are some areas that are sparse, so maybe sort of a light woods feeling. There are other areas that are quite dense. And in fact, those dense areas, they seem a bit precarious to move through, as in you have to go carefully and not risk getting pricked. This is a harsh place, really, quite harsh looking. There are other forms of plant life, from sage and scrub brush to even some other small woody bushes. But the predominant vegetation here is cactus, and there's a lot of it. And there really are sections that live up to the name of forest. There are some rock formations here and there as well. You'll see some gravelly bits. You'll see boulders, even some rock formations. The elevation is not even, so there'll be ridges and slopes and little hillocks and depressions into the ground. There's even a little stream at this entrance part. The stream or creek bed is pretty dry, but upon closer inspection, it's just under the dried layer at the top. It's muddy underneath. So it does seem like this area has something providing more moisture to it. Do you all have any specific way in which you're proceeding through here?
Carefully.
Okay.
Nudge Kivish to the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Kivish takes the lead, and you're moving through carefully at a slow pace. All right.
Now there's a spider in here, right?
You did hear.
Mm-hmm.
You heard of a guardian called Caraxia, which is supposedly the top power in the cactus forest.
But if we meet her, Lykarr, it's your job to hit her with your most powerful lightning magic to try and impress her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone that you spoke with, I believe, was Thornessa. Yeah, Thornessa, the cactus nymph. She said that Caraxia respects raw power, and that you need to prove yourself to her quickly if you want to parlay with her, or otherwise not go into all out, drag out battle to the death. She described Coraxia as a very harsh, just harsh, like the land itself here. Everybody make a perception check.
– 18.
15.
18 as well.
Okay. You're moving carefully, slowly through the cactus forest. You've gone in, a good couple hours now. You find yourselves in an ambush. Some of the foes are to your right. Some of them are straight ahead and some are to your left. So I'm going to give you a general layout of what this is like. You are traveling through the sparse, we'll call it the sparse cactus or the sparse cacti. That's the easiest ground for you to move along. To your right, there's a big section of the thick cacti. It's hard to see through it. There's tall ones and there's the low ones all on the ground. It's difficult terrain, provides a lot of cover, blocks sight after a certain distance. It's even risking to poke you. Probably not skewer you to death, but it could be painful. To your left, there's also another patch. So you're kind of going between these two thick patches of cacti. Straight ahead are some rock formations. There's a big rock formation, and then there's a kind of a medium one staggered a little ways away from it. Farther past is a ridge. It goes up about 15 feet.
Are these rock formations like basically just boulder piles, or are they wind eroded like hoodoos and stuff?
They're certainly natural. So it kind of does this thing, like boulder, big part, small part, and then staggered off a little bit, and there's another big boulder. At its tallest part, it is about 12 feet up there, and it has some parts that go down. So in total, it's from 4 to maybe 12 feet in elevation, just irregular shaped.
All right. So nothing we can't conceivably scramble over.
Correct.
All right.
The ridges are somewhat steep, but they seem relatively feasible to climb. And they also have cacti growing on the top. It's kind of rocks and cactus. But it's to your right and your left are those thicker patches. You've got about maybe, say like 60 feet either direction until you hit the thick stuff.
Right.
So this ambush happens.
Uh-oh.
To your right, in the thick part, close to the rock formation, you see two spiny, thorny, about maybe 3 to 4 foot tall creatures, roughly humanoid. They look like the guy described, like a cactus men. You see 2 more of them to the left side, again closer to that boulder. You also see 2 of them atop the rock formations. And they've got these thorns that are just naturally growing out of their hands, and they look like they're getting ready to like launch them at you. Roll for initiative.
All right.
Got it.
I have an 18.
Okay.
I have a 9.
Okay.
I have an 18 as well.
Who's got higher dexterity score?
Mine is a +2.
I have
Score or modifier?
Score.
Mine is 14.
I have 16.
Okay. Lykarr, you get to react first. Oh, actually, hold on. Let me... Just one moment. Beep, 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 beep. Okay, cool. You're fine. All right, you get to act first here, Lykarr. You're getting hit with this ambush by these needle guys. What are you doing?
What is the closest group?
The closest group is going to be the one to your left. They're about 50 feet away, and they're inside just at the edge of the thick cactus, close to one of the rocks.
All right, I'm not going to be able to get there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go invisible, because invisible is good.
Okay, so you disappear. So you've got thick stuff to your right, to your left, about 60 feet in either direction. You've got straight ahead, the one boulder, and then this big rock formation. And there's like this maybe 40-foot wide gap. They're kind of staggered out. And then beyond that's this ridge. Do you move anywhere?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to move to the left.
Okay. Next up is Kivish.
All right. So how
Your friend
far away are
disappears.
these guys from me? And are they more or less directly in front of me?
The closest would be the two that are to your left. They're about 50 feet away, right there, at the edge, inside the thick stuff.
All right. Yeah, okay, 50 feet away. Perfect. So yeah, right in front of them, I'm going to focus on a spot right in front of them, so that they'll be within 5 feet of it.
Mhm.
And I'm going to start gesticulating and pull out a pinch of brimstone, a bit of tallow, and a dusting of powdered iron, which I'm going to sort of rub together and then say an incantation and use that to cast a flaming sphere directly in front of them.
Okay. A flaming rolling ball of elemental fire appears. Are you rolling it into one of those guys?
I'd like to roll it into multiple of them if I can, but yeah.
Yeah, should be.
Okay. Let's see. Dexterity saving throw. Both fails.
What's the damage on those spheres again?
It's only 2d6, but it
Only 3d6. Like a second level spell.
it's three if I spend a higher level slot, but I didn't this time. Anyway, that's 8.
They let out these squealing sounds. That seemed very effective. And then remind me on that spell, if they end their turn or start their turn within 5 feet, they have to make the same thing.
Yeah, any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet.
Okay, yeah. So you want to stay away from the ball of fire, otherwise it's going to start cooking you. And you can, as a bonus action, move it and try to ram somebody with it.
Right, and to save half the damage.
Save half the damage. Nice.
Yeah. I can also, when I move it, I can direct it over barriers up to 5 feet tall and jump it across pits of up to 10 feet wide.
Okay, cool. The boulder that it's next to is 8 feet tall.
Okay. It
but right
does
now
also ignite flammable stuff, if that's relevant.
Okay. So your boulder's there, kind of like smoldering and flaming, and it's probably heating up some cactus. I don't know if cactus really catch on fire so well, but it's doing its thing. The first of those two guys, they're just going to get the hell away from that thing as best they can. Actually, that wounded them a lot, and they just take off just as fast as they can. They seem to move through this difficult terrain unimpeded, as they are made of the cactus themselves. So they cut away, and you can't even see them anymore. They just make it into the thick stuff.
Quick question: did Kobe get added to the initiative, or?
He did. Yep, I've got him in there. I don't have Marley though. Let me put him in. I'm just going to put him at the bottom.
I was going to suggest like him just grab a horse and like don't move.
Okay, so you tell Marley, don't move.
Yeah.
The two that are atop the rocks in front of you. So there's the separate boulder, and then there's like the part of the big rock formation. There's a guy atop each of those. They attack Kivish. They saw that thing that you just did, and there's like this.
Yeah.
They are very worried about that. They fling needles at you. Let's see. You're about 50. Okay, so this is going to be long range for them.
Advantage on their attack.
Yep. 13 to hit.
My AC is higher than that.
Okay. You dodge out of the way of that, and then they scamper. They kind of crawl back around on the other side, the far side of those rock formations. They are out of sight now.
Total cover.
Yep.
Okay.
They are small things. I guess they're not quite as small as I initially described. We'll say they're about 4 to 5 feet tall.
Okay, so like,
Spindly, thorny things. There are also 2 to the right in the thick. They're going to approach, and they don't. I guess they don't really talk. So I made their little screaming noise, but I guess they don't really have mouths. So forget the squeals of agony. They just silently slink up like that. They're going to come out within their standard firing range.
Snapping their fingers as they walk up.
maybe the squeal is like evaporating moisture.
All right, and they fling thorns at the druid. 15?
His AC is a 16.
Okay.
A bit of a prickly situation there.
Yes. All right, so your armor staves off the few thorny things that do strike you, and you're no worse to wear. All right, so they are now 30 feet away of Kivish and Nox. Those are the 2 to your right. So they're kind of like sort of between the big rock formation and you guys. Nox, you see this happening. What's your reaction, or what do you do?
I'm sorry. I've totally blanked that it was me. I'm sorry. So the ones on the right, were they the ones that were cooked? Or were those the ones on the left?
The ones that got burnt, they took off. They went farther into the thick cacti, and you can't see them anymore. The 2 on top of the rocks, they went to the far side. You can't see them anymore. And then kind of to your right, in between you and the big rock formation, are the 2 that came within 30 feet. They came within their short range of throwing their spines.
Perfect. I tell my cohort, Toby, thank you. He hasn't gone yet, correct?
Correct.
I tell him, "Go cut me one of those men. I'll take the other one out." And then I'm going to do something that I hardly ever do. Pull out my sword, but I'm actually casting Eldritch Blast. I'm going to be using the Hex spell as a bonus action on one of them, and then Eldritch Blasting that one.
Okay. Go for it.
Whenever you hit it with an attack. Okay, so each Eldritch Blast would trigger the Hex. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So thematically, I swing my blade and just like black slashes come out of it and fly at the guy. So this is same guy. Does a 12.
That is a hit.
And then wow. Slightly higher than a 12.
Okay.
So damage is going to be a D10. And then a D6 for the hex. So first attack does 1 force damage, 6 necrotic damage, I think, from the hex. Is that necrotic? Yes, necrotic damage from the hex. Just in case it matters.
It doesn't, so you can just tally them all up together.
So
Also, I believe... No, never mind. Okay. So 7 total?
7 from the first hit, and then 12 from the next, so that's a total of 19.
All right. You have actually chopped this thing into chunks with your shadow slash that you fling at him. And the one next to it it has no mouth, but it just kind of looks at it.
And let's see, does the hex take a bonus action to transfer? It does.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, I'm done.
All right. So Kobe, he goes charging with his cutlass brandished, Ah! And the thing dodges. Lykarr, you are invisible. What do you do?
No, Kivish's attack against the first group was to the group on the left that I'm headed towards, right?
Yeah, so those two are gone now. They've gone far into the thick cacti. That was his flaming sphere is 20 feet in front of you. Right next to this flaming sphere is this big boulder, and then after that, there's like an open area, and then there's the big rock formation.
Okay, well, I want to redirect my to go where those other two went behind the.
So you're going straight ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start heading that way. Make a. Oh, actually, let me write down passive perceptions. Let me get that down. What does everyone have?
12 passive.
Passive perception, 16.
Perception, 10.
Okay, so you are walking, and you make it, say maybe 20, 25 feet or so, and then you have actually stepped into some kind of web that was difficult to see.
Oh, damn.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
That's interesting. An invisible person hitting a web.
Yeah, 19. My dexterity is 16, so that's plus 3. 22.
Success. So as soon as you realize what you're stepping into here, you're like, whoa, like you go back and you don't get caught in it, but your movement's done. You can dash still, you still have your action. And you're not trapped. So you were right about ready to step in between the two big sections of rock. Straight ahead is like some more of the light cacti, and then there's a ridge after that.
Well, I'm going to back up because I don't want something coming down on me, because spiders can detect where the web was.
Okay, sure. So you're out of the web, and you have your action left.
I'll use my action to back up as far as I can.
Okay, you want to back up and get closer to your party?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Ju-
Okay. So you head back, and you're kind of close to Kivish. Actually, Kivish and Nox. Kivish, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I guess I see Lykarr become visible in the web. Right? Does the web like kind of form an outline around him?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No,
So
he didn't get tangled in it at all.
Okay.
But I would yell, web here.
Right.
Okay, so he's alerted you. There's web in between the rocks.
All right.
Gotcha.
The cactus men are still attacking actively, or have run off?
There's one that
There's one that's engaged with Kobe to your right, about 30 feet away from you.
Two which are hiding.
Two that have gone on the other side, the far side of the rocks.
I would like to move the flaming sphere around the rocks.
It's quite a distance away from the ones ahead of us, as I recall, correct?
Yeah, actually, how far is it? I thought you said it was within 50 feet.
Although, if there's web, that flaming sphere will just cut a path right through it.
Precisely.
Okay, do you want to use the flaming sphere on the web?
Yeah.
What's this? How far can you move the sphere? Like 20 feet?
Is it? Let's see.
I think it's like 20 feet.
I move it up to 30 feet.
Up to 30 feet? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you start rolling it around in the web area, and the web ignites. You've burned away like half of the web. It's a pretty big section of it, but you had enough movement to kind of roll your ball around, and you've burned away right about half of it.
All right. And since that's a bonus action, I'm then going to move about 30 feet closer to it so that I can keep moving it.
Okay.
Legit.
All right. So, Kivish, at the moment, you are 15 feet away of burnt web, like open, or I'll say light cacti, in between the two rock areas. You still have your action, though.
Oh, that's true. All right. So, how close am I to any of the cactus men? Are there any particularly near
You
me?
do not see any of them at the moment.
I'm just going to try and assess my surroundings and see what details I can perceive about what's unfolding in front of me. Then.
Okay, make a perception check.
All right. That is a 15, and I'm proficient in its wisdom. That's a 21.
21. Okay. You hear sounds. So there's the solitary boulder. There's something on the far side of it. Sounds like it's crawling along. And then there's the rock formation, the big part. It sounds like there are multiple things moving around back there. You think there's more than just these needle creatures.
Right.
Would it be polite to make a tactical suggestion?
Huh?
Yeah, go for it.
What?
Okay. Kivish, you still have your action left, right?
Well, I just used it to look around.
Okay. Then
That's what
suggestion is
that. But what would it be though?
I would have suggested take the dodge action since you seem to be the primary target after that fire move. They're going to want to take you out. A lot of them shooting at you and you getting to dodge them would be very...
okay. Yeah, too late for that due to the perception. We'll keep things moving. The thorn creatures, the cacti spine men, they come back up on top of the rocks. They're gonna take a shot and then go back. So they're just kind of popping out of cover, flinging at you, and then going back behind cover. Here are 2 attacks. 20 will hit.
Yep.
All right, this is piercing damage. 10 piercing.
Ouch.
Yo! Make a Constitution saving throw for concentration.
19.
Success. Nox.
All right, so 2 of them came back up on top of the...
Only momentarily. They popped out, did their range attack, and then went back.
Totally legit. I've seen this tactic used before. I've used it myself once or twice. I'm going to assume that Kobe can handle that one little guy. And if he can't, well, that sucks for Kobe.
Yeah, the little cactus men do not seem to have much in the way of physical heartiness.
Yep. What I'm going to do is when I ready an action, can I take a bonus action as part of the action?
So readying an action actually is your action, and you specify what you're readying and what the trigger is, and then the trigger will use up your reaction to do your thing. But you can move into your bonus action before that.
Okay, I was just curious if the bonus action could be part of a readied action or not.
Okay, no.
That's all I needed to know. Yep. So I can't hex them when they reappear.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can't ready Hex and Eldritch Blast.
That's what I was going to check. No matter. I'm going to move forward a little bit.
Okay, are you heading kind of close where Kivish is, heading towards between the rocks?
Hang on a second. Let me see. You said that these things were humanoids, right?
They have a vaguely humanoid shape. They are clearly plants, though.
Could I bind a specter from them?
You do need an actual humanoid for that.
That's what I wanted to check.
Yeah. They are strictly plants. They just have they have limbs. They have a vaguely humanoid aspect.
But it requires the humanoid type for my specter. That's what I need to check.
Yeah.
I will prepare an action to throw my Eldritch Blast when they pop back.
Okay. And you moved up a little bit?
I will move up a little bit. My Eldritch Blast range should be plenty to cover.
I imagine so. Okay, so you move up like maybe half your speed, and you're on the lookout for an enemy appearing. And I believe enemies do appear now. They sure do. Okay. There is a sound, a voice coming from the... No, there's not. Nothing in this encounter can talk. Oh my gosh.
You want to talk so badly.
I love making monster noises and voices and stuff. So we have a languageless encounter here. All right. So some more crawly things come out now. There's actually 2 of these things. They also are humanoid-ish. They're like humanoid spiders. They got spidery hands and feet, spider heads, and these like weird gangly hunched bodies. But they are somewhat humanoid-like. They come climbing up over the rocks. Actually, they succeeded on stealth, so they're going to get advantage. I think the first one's going to sling a web down on Kivish. All right, ranged attack. Okay, here we go. I'm sure that is a hit. 23.
Yep.
All right, hit. You have been hit with a web, a nice big web, and you just got sticky stuff all over you.
Does that trigger my reaction though, or my
It will. Yeah. Let me just tell them what it's doing, and then you can do yours.
Yep.
You're restrained. Yeah. Okay, that's it. You're restrained in the web. All right.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nox.
I'm gonna shoot that spider with guy that just webbed him with my.
Yep.
So here we go.
I can do spell noises if I can't make monster voices.
Yeah, you can do my spell noises all the time. There's a nat 20 in the mix, and then a 15 on the other attack.
15 is a hit.
All right, so I assume there's nothing that I need to... It's all force damage anyway, so I'm just going to total it all together for you?
Yep.
Okay. So that's 3d10. 2d10 for the crit, 1d10 for... Actually, should I do the crit separate just in case it kills them?
Just roll it all together since this is like your reaction here.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I could split the attacks was my only thought. 15 total force damage.
Okay. That seemed pretty effective.
This is without my charisma added to class either, so yeah.
All right. I'm going to make a little note in the chat because I never say anything in the chat while we're playing. There it is, spiders.
I've been, yeah.
All right. The second one, there are 2 of these spider, so we'll call them spider men. It comes creeping along, and it's going to come in for a bite and claw attacks against Kivish. Oh, Kivish. Oh, what's going to happen to you, laddie? Where'd the other one go? He's there and he's there. Okay, cool. So you are restrained. That makes it easier for him to attack you. First is a bite attack.
Advantage, right?
He has advantage.
Yes, he has advantage. You can't move off of your spot, and you have disadvantage on attacks and like dexterity and strength type stuff to like move around or dexterity saves.
Just dex saving throws. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. 20. So he bites ye. Okay. You resist poison damage, is that right?
Yes, I do.
You're a dwarf. Okay, so let me grab... I'll grab my orange die here to represent the poison one. All right, so there's piercing from the bite plus poison. All right, well, you resisted the poison damage. It's 8 piercing.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw against poison, which I think you have advantage on that from being a dwarf.
Yep. Well, I needed that advantage because I rolled a 19 and a 4.
Okay.
And that 19 becomes a 21.
Be gone with thy foul toxin! You withstand the poison. The claw attack is a 19.
That'll do it again.
He claws you for 7 slashing damage.
Ooh,
Ouch.
I hope you have some good tricks up your sleeve.
Kivish has been brutalized by the Spider-Man. Make 2 Constitution saving throws for concentration.
Okay.
Good call. I believe the DC is 10.
Yeah, DC 10.
DC is 10. Okay, well, the lowest die I rolled there was a 10, which
All right.
modified would be a
Fine.
12 and a 20.
All right, your sphere of fire continues to burn. Okay, Kobe is embattled with the thorn creature.
Then Kobe.
Kobe is still embattled with the thorn creature.
Damn it, Kobe.
Die!
Do it for Tanyan.
Marley he's with the horses and he's hanging back and just like he's a little freaked out. He's trying to keep himself and the horses safe.
You need to cast, what was it, levitate or fly? You need to cast that flying spell on Kobe and give him a rock or something he can like fly down and hit them with. That'll do it.
Lykarr.
How close am I to being able to get over the rocks to see what's on the other side?
Well, that's right. You're still invisible.
You've got a little distance from the rocks at the moment. You're 30 feet away from that. Nox is next to you. Kivish is 15 in front of you. He's got a spider creature next to him. There's a spider creature on top of the rock formation. One of the sort of lower parts. It's the one that hit him with the web.
And I slashed that one for a good bit of damage.
Yeah. Yeah, Nox hit that one with a Eldritch Blast.
I was just wondering if I move up my 30 feet, would I be able to see what is on the other side of the...
You would be sort of in between the rocks at that point. They're wide. They're big, wide rock formations.
Okay, well, we need to do something. I haven't done anything except run around invisible so far.
We're getting hit. Waiting is not a bad tactic sometimes when we don't know what they have. But yes, now is the time for action, I think.
Yeah, I was going to see if I could get up and get a view of what's beyond the... so I'll move up as best I can. I have a 30-foot movement.
Mm-hmm.
So when I move forward 30 feet, am I able to see anything additional besides the one spider on top of the ridge?
The movement gets you just in between those rocks. And you probably halt there. You don't really have much movement left, and this fire sphere is in front of you, and you keep a little distance so it's not going to roast you. There's also a little bit of webbing still left, so you stay clear of all of that. Let's see, you can see, just like 10 feet behind you is the one spider creature fighting Kivish. And then to your right, on the bigger rock formation, you see one. He's just like clinging on up there, scowling, not talking, but he has spider teeth. To your left, you can probably just like barely make out the one cactus guy clinging and hiding back there. It's hard to see him. You can just like barely see like maybe part of his shoulder and some thorns.
Okay, well, we're going to try and take out the, I don't know if there's anything else behind it with the other spider, but we'll drop a fireball back there and get rid of him, and maybe if anybody's behind it.
Okay, so you're going to explode a fireball on top of the rocks to your right. Is that what I'm hearing?
Right where the spider is that's shooting the web.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a little behind him where he's still in the spear.
Yep.
And
Yep. I got it. So I'm going to roll 2 dexterity saving throws. All right, so this will first one be the spider guy. We've got a fail, and next is going to be another thorn creature. Also a fail. They love fire. Please give them what they want.
10, 16, 20, 22, 24, 28 damage.
Okay. Whoosh! The fireball explodes atop the rock. The Spider-Man gets just like all scorched along his back and his one side, and he almost falls off, but he just like barely hangs on with the one claw, and he just looks like he's totally cooked, like almost collapsed. You don't hear a squeal sound, but you see one of the thorn things like fall off the backside of the rock formation, just like a piece of he's like a piece of charcoal at this point. That was pretty effective. Kivish.
All right, so to try and break out of this web, would that be something like an athletics check? Or
Yeah, it would be a strength check. So it requires your action, and you make a strength check, and you just try to like rip your way free.
All right. Cool. 18.
All right. You pull yourself free. You've still got nasty sticky bits on you, but you can move your limbs around now.
Right.
You have one of these spider things menacing you right in front of your face. 20 feet behind him, your sphere of flame is just there crackling amidst what's left of the webbing.
Right. And given that I can move that up to 30 feet, I'm going to move it to... Well, he's too close to me to technically move it onto him without burning myself, but yeah. Actually, I don't know if it burns me.
You can put it behind. You can put it behind him and kind of like ram him from behind.
Yeah, exactly.
You would also avoid Lykarr if you did it that way too.
Right.
Okay.
That's exactly.
So Lykarr, this fireball just goes rolling past you. I guess you're visible now. So it goes rolling past you, rams the thing from behind. I'm going to roll a dexterity save for him. He succeeds, so half damage. I assume 20 gets your DC.
What is this? Oh.
2d6 halved.
Yeah. My spell save DC is most certainly below 20. Halved is still going to be 5, though.
Okay. So he does actually have a mouth. I assume he makes some kind of noise, like a noise of a little bit of pain there. Roasting a bit on his bum, are you? The thorn creature that is still alive, he pops out behind the rock, flings his thorns at Lykarr. Lykarr. 20.
That might hit.
I think so. Unless you got some kind of shield spell that blocks it off. I don't know. That's a popular one in my home group. 8 piercing damage.
Owie.
And get ready for perhaps some more owies, as there are actually 2 more of these thorn creatures atop the ridge that you did not see. They are attacking. They're in long range, but they have advantage from hiding, so we'll just even it out to regular rolls. Here are 2 more needle attacks. That's a miss. 18.
That hits.
Well,
7 piercing.
Correct.
So 15 total between the 2.
Mm-hmm. So those were up atop the ridge. That's, it's like a little ways beyond these rocks. They're like 20, 80. Yeah, they're like a little more, like 85 feet away. They're up 15 feet. Oh, whoa, not 80. Yeah. 20, 40, 45. They're 45 feet away, and they're up 15. And then they just kind of like slink back and crouch down. So you can't actually see them anymore. But they're up there. Nox.
Okay. No one's actually shot me yet, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
You are the farthest back now as it stands.
He'll be still struggling. I'll let him deal with his demons.
Oh, I totally forgot to roll on the guy he's fighting. All right. It's in melee range, so it's actually going to swipe at him with a melee attack.
Do it. Kobe needs to get,
Oh, and Kobe is struck. What will become of Kobe the lion?
he'll survive.
I hope so. He probably will. All right, there is 6 piercing damage to Kobe. He has, I think, 11 hit points total. All right, Kobe's at 5. Ah! They got me, boss. They got me.
I say, get him back, Kobe. I'm not hiring more members onto the ship, so you better come back alive. But anyways, describe to me really quick.
Yep.
Enemies
General layout here.
General enemies that are still alive.
Okay, so you can see 2 of the Spider-Men. One is fighting Kivish, and on the other side of it's the flaming sphere.
Yes.
That's 25 feet away.
I'm gonna.
And up on about another 20 feet up on the rock formation is the one that got singed, and it looks like it's in really bad shape.
It's like about to fall over. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad. There were 2 that appeared up on the ridge, and that's a little ways back. You probably couldn't see that very well, and they went out of sight.
I will bonus action to put my hex on the one that's engaged with Kivish.
Okay.
Doesn't look so bad. And then I will, of course, use. Well, actually, he's only how far away?
He is 15. 20. He's actually 30 feet away from you.
I can move 30 feet, and my sword will do a lot more damage.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you actually only have to move 25.
Yep.
And you're right next to him. Then you engage him in melee.
Yeah. I start running, and I just take this huge swipe. By the way, when I hit 6th level, I don't think I mentioned this to you, but you know the smite ability that I had? Every Warlock level, you can swap one of your invocations out. I swapped it for Thirsting Blade.
Thirsting Blade. Okay.
2 attacks now with my sword.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm going to slash this guy who I just hexed.
Okay. Slash away.
Let's see. So first attack, will a 19 hit?
Yep.
Second attack, will a 16 hit?
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is it's going to be bad for this guy. The hex damage on, so 2d6, 3d6. Alright. Necrotic damage doesn't matter to them, right?
You're good.
Alright. Total that up for first attack does 14 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second attack did 17 damage.
You slash him twice, and he shrieks in pain. He's still standing, though, but that was a pretty serious blow against him.
Yep.
The creature itself reacts to this now on his turn. So he's got you 2 in front of him. He's got the flaming sphere behind him. He's in a really bad spot.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to try to make a run for it. He disengages, and he moves 5.
Okay. The disengage would ignore.
Okay, so he has gotten away from both of you. He kind of slips away with a little clever step there. Gets back a bit, jumps up onto the rock thing. Spider climbs over it onto the other side. So he just really went like between all 3 of you, like even passed by Lykarr there. And he's gotten onto the other side of the solitary boulder.
Can he still be seen?
You do not see him. He went all the way over the top onto the far side.
Understood.
The one who's barely hanging on for dear life there, I think he's going to do some retreating as well. So he's kind of at the closest part of the large rock formation to you, and he is just going to climb back away and out of sight.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you can hear him, or it. You don't even really know what the heck these things. they just look like weird spider things. You can hear it moving, like it's just it climbed over the rocks and then like hit the ground, and just like you can hear its footsteps hurrying away, like it's running towards the ridge.
Better run.
Kobe stands his ground, and he's going to try to make Nox proud here. He swings his cutlass. Well, he's sure swinging. He swings. The air is cut. Lykarr.
Oh, no.
Is there I would like to get cover from the two distant needle guys.
Okay. That's no trouble at all. So you're right next to that rock, that big boulder. So you just kind of cut around to your left, and that gives you total cover from whoever's up on that ridge. Okay. There is that one who's on the other side, though. Like, it's just right on the other side of this big rock.
Now, before I move, is he visible before I move?
You would need to actually move forward and around the rock to see him on the other side. You want to do that? You want to take a peek?
Well, do I have enough time to like dodge up, whack him with a spell, and then dodge back?
You think you will. So I know I don't have a lot of light here in my room.
That's okay.
Dungeon Master in the Darkness effect. So it's a roughly circular or ovular boulder, big thing, maybe 8 feet tall. So this is like bird's eye view. So like you're kind of here. The webbing was up here connecting, and so like you're here, and this guy is on the other side. So he kind of like crept around, flung his needle, and then went back. So looks like as long as he's just there, you could move, fired him, and then you could move back for cover. And the ridge is like a little farther that away. And as long as you get back to the other side of the boulder, you'll have blockage. You want to try it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. You get, let's see. You move 5 feet. You can see the guy. It has half cover. You want to fire from there or keep going?
No, I'll fire from there.
Okay. It's only 10 feet away from you. It's got half cover.
Okay. We're going to try and just hit it with we'll just try Ray of Frost. We'll see how that does.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack.
19.
Hit.
I don't know what damage Ray of Frost does.
2d8 for you.
2d8?
Yep.
Good thing you know.
Yeah, another popular spell for my home group. We got 2 guys that can cast Ray of Frost. The one guy hits it with slow, and then they both Ray of Frost on the slowed creature.
A 7 and a 3, so that's 10.
10. You hit the thing with your crackling ray of icy magic. That was a really powerful hit. You nearly knocked the thing off the rock there. Then you swing back around, take cover, and yeah, turned out pretty well for you, actually. Kivish.
Cool. All right, so the spidery things are they're climbing on the rocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so to your left, there's a solitary boulder, and the one like climbed over it onto the far side, and then you hear another one dashing away on the other side of the big rock formation, sort of in between that and the ridge.
All right. Let's just check if I have to actually see this place. Yeah, you have to choose a point that I can see. All right. Yeah. So, I'm gonna start moving towards the ridge and keeping my flaming sphere rolling in front of me.
Okay.
Get out of the webbing?
Yep, he ripped free.
Out. Cool. Sorry, I missed it.
You have 25 speed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your sphere is actually a little faster than you.
Yeah, it is. A little bit.
You are in between the 2 sections of rock. The flaming sphere, you've got it 10 feet ahead of you.
All right. And then with my regular action, I'll take dodge.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you're in between the rocks. You've got dodge. You put your ball there. The thorn creatures are still fighting. You can actually see one of them, Kivish. He is to your left, just kind of clinging onto the rock there. He's not really too far away from you. So he actually tries to get a little bit of distance between you and him. Do you have a melee attack? You can make an opportunity attack.
All right. This can't be a spell, right?
Unless you have Warcaster.
Yeah.
That's right.
good.
That's right. Okay, I remember that. Yes, melee attack. That would be a... Yeah. That would be with my short sword, which is going to be not great, but it is a 14.
You hit, even with the half cover. You got him.
All right. That's 5 slashing damage.
That seemed pretty effective. You slash the thing as it's it's sort of like leaping off of the rock, and he lands on the ground. He's got this like cut in his cactus flesh. He looks a little bit maybe a little startled by that. He's gonna fling thorns and then keep moving. Okay, and you've got dodge on at the moment. Okay, he misses. You dodge out of the way of the thorns, and he will continue moving. Okay, it has moved into the thick cactus terrain. The two up on the ridge pop up, and they fire at you, and they will have disadvantage. So here's the first one. Let me see. Lykarr took cover back there. Okay, yeah, you're really about the only one. All right. You dodge. 18?
Hit me.
6 piercing.
Me, right?
Yes, 6 piercing, Kivish. You've been struck by these thorny cactus needles. And they poke. And then those two up on the ridge, they're just basically firing. Pop out of the cover, fire, sneak back down. And when they pop down, or I guess not pop down, but take their cover, they really go out of sight because they've got 15 feet up there. There are some cactuses, and you don't see them. They hit the ground. That is no, it's not. There's Kobe's enemy.
I was about to say, what about Kobe?
Kobe blocks a claw, a thorny claw on his cutlass. You ain't gonna get the best of me.
Do it for Tanyan.
Noxiqual, you inspire your ally. You also can make your own move here. What would you like?
Enemies that I can see as of where I'm currently standing.
Okay. The only one you can actually see is the one fighting Kobe.
Yeah.
That is 15, 30, 45, 55 feet away from you.
A matter of distance that's outside melee.
If you swing around, or I guess if you walk between, like through the rock formations, you'll be on the other side.
Yeah. And
you might be able to see the one who's running away. You can only hear him at the moment. Kivish, you can actually see him running away. You can probably just barely see him. Right. And he's like in between the big rock formation and the ridge, just making a run for it.
Well.
Further than my sphere could reach in one action, right?
At the moment, he is 15, 60 feet away from your sphere. What do you want? What do you think, Nox? You want to attack the one fighting Kobe? Do you want to ready an Eldritch Blast for the ones on the ridge? Take cover.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Quick question on the one fighting Kobe: is he wounded at all?
No.
He's not even been hit.
Not.
I thought he was hit once.
Yeah, I thought he was, but
Let me think.
Kobe got hit.
He
I
had
think
5 left.
what did he get? What did he get hit? Yeah, I do see one that took 5 damage. What was that hit by?
Kobe, maybe. I don't know.
No,
It was-
Kobe hasn't even hit yet. Someone hit. Yeah, someone did hit it for 5.
Okay. Well, then.
Nox hit it with one of his Eldritch Blasts.
Okay.
That's what it was. He softened it up for Kobe. Kobe needs to hit the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide, like, if I do this for Kobe, he's always going to expect me to be there. To
Sure. All right. So, what do you think? You want to try to get inside of the guy who's running? Do you want to ready for the ones on the ridge?
I'm going to ready for the ridge and move up a little bit, but I'm still going to be within range of Kobe's.
Sure. Yeah, I can picture pretty easily. You kind of like slink up, kind of around the rock. You've got some cover, but you can see up to that ridge in case they pop up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep me in cover if I can.
All right. Kivish, you see the spider creature that's badly wounded. It continues making its dash for the ridge.
All right.
It makes it to the ridge. It climbs up with spider-like ease, and it's probably out of sight by now. It's out of sight by now. It's like hits the ridge, scampers up it like a spider, and just like keeps going. And it's just you can't see it anymore. Kobe. All right. Kobe has been emboldened.
Fortanyan.
By his catalyst. Fortanyan! And he does not hit. He rolls crap.
What are you rolling? Use a different die.
I rolled a natural 7 there. I think that's the highest he's rolled.
I use my inspiration on him. Come on. Just like
you want to use your inspiration on him?
If I can, yes.
Yeah, sure. All right. Inspiration is expended.
Sure. That wasn't that one.
Oh no, but here I'll show you.
Well, 6 plus what?
He has +3, I believe.
So not enough.
Yeah, it was last hit was 7 plus 3, so he rolled 10 and a 9.
He gotta redeem himself.
I imagine Kobe's freaking out at the moment. He's like, "Oh, what is this?"
He's
Just
probably
caught out of this ambush of like weird cactus creatures and Spider-Men.
By the way, is anyone else imagining the cactuses from Final Fantasy?
Cactars?
That's Cactar.
Lykarr, it is your turn. You are currently behind that big boulder. The one spider creature is on the other side of it. Oh, I guess I forgot to do that spider creature's turn. He got hurt pretty bad. So actually, you heard him running off into the... Nope. No, he doesn't go there either. Sorry, guys. Let me just back this up one tick here. I totally forgot about that guy. Kivish, you see it. It leaps off of the boulder, hits the ground, runs up to... There's like the nearest part of the ridge where those thorn creatures are flinging from. He's going to go up there. Okay, so both of the spider creatures have gotten up on the ridge at 2 different parts, but it's the same overall connected section of escarpment. They both are out of sight. Okay, so Lykarr, you're behind that big boulder. You see Kobe fighting a thorn creature. You know there's 2 up on the closer section of the ridge that are going to probably pop up and attack again.
Okay, I'm just debating if I want to help Kobe or do I want to take out the other guys? Because Kobe's going to die if he gets hit again.
He might.
He only has 5 hit points left.
That is correct.
So I will cast a Ray of Frost at the little cactus guy attacking Kobe. If it's within range.
What's the range on Ray of Frost? 120?
60.
Is he within 60?
I imagine he is. Let's see. 30.
Told me I was
Yeah,
like,
he's exactly 60 from you. All right, take your shot.
Okay. Oh, God.
don't throw away your shot.
14.
Hit.
So 2d8. 7.
You coat the thorn creature in frost, and it falls to the ground.
Damn it.
That's how it's done, Kobe.
Like, seriously, Kobe could have hit it with, like, a piddly hit.
Hey, I was going to get him, I swear.
I'm very
Do you want to stay where you are behind the cover there, Lykarr?
Yes.
Okay. Kivish.
All right, so since nothing's directly threatening me, I'm gonna go ahead and spend 3. Actually, so Morpheus and his blessing of wound closure. What did that do again? What I forgot to write down the actual ability that gave. I just wrote down blessing of wound closure.
1 second, I've got it right here. Blessing of wound closure. Okay, it's referring me to a different page. Let me go to the other page. Okay. You stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of hit points it restores. So
right.
that would be more for a short rest.
Precisely. All right, so as I think it's a bonus action, actually. Which you only get 1 bonus action. They're not completely free, right?
Yeah, you can only take 1 bonus action per turn.
Right, so as a bonus action, I'm going to spend 3 of my Balm of the Summer Court dice.
Excellent.
And that is going to get me 9 and 9 temporary hit points.
Good choice. Good choice there. Are you concerned about the 2 thorn creatures up on the nearer section of the ridge?
Have they popped back up yet?
That ridge is 60 feet from you to the ridge, and then it's like 15 feet up.
All right, so I can't actually move my flaming sphere. I'm going to dismiss my flaming sphere, but instead I'm going to, I think, this is within, where did that go? There we go. Range of 120 feet. So I'm going to choose a point on the ground that I can see. I'm going to do some gesticulating and some incantating, and with my druidic focus, the nymph carven of rosewood with freshwater pearls for eyes, I'm going to run a finger through her hair, which is actually a bunch of fine flakes of obsidian, while I'm gesticulating and incantating, if that's a word. And I am going to cast Erupting Earth and choose a point on the ground I can see within 120 feet, so like the point that they're standing on, and a 20-foot cube centered on that point, so centered to include them all.
Nice.
It's difficult terrain, and they get dexterity saves.
All right. The ridge top erupts. Spray of chunks of earth and rock. 2 failures.
2 failures. Okay. So the success is half, and the failures take 25.
Chunks of cactus come flying down to the ground.
Just hit them.
And 3d12 is...
well, that's one way to do it. There are no more actively threatening enemies. There are the 2 that climbed up, the spider creatures that climbed up onto the ridge. They're both pretty wounded, and they seem to be fleeing it's just a straight flight of self-preservation.
Can I hit them with a Eldritch Blast?
You can't see them at the moment. Do you want to climb up the ridge?
Nah, not particularly.
No. Lykarr, do you have anything that you want to do in this situation?
Oh wait, I may misunderstand. If you're saying the ridge, like just a little bit that the guys just got erupted on.
So the ridge is a large section. It's not very tall. It's about 15 feet up. One portion of it is a bit closer to you. Then there's another one that's a bit farther away, and it seems to just be a area of higher ground that stretches on for part of the region here.
Okay, but it's not like going off into the cactus forest ridge you're referring to, right?
It's an area of higher elevation. It still does have cacti on it, but it's not the dangerous thick cacti.
Okay, I'm not just wandering off into the forest is basically what I want to make sure if I climb up onto this ridge.
Oh, no. I mean, you would have to specifically go trotting off a good ways for you to like possibly get lost or something to that effect. Mainly what you would be doing is getting up there to see if you can spot these creatures running away and take shots at them.
That seems legit. I'll try that since I just had a ready to action last turn. I might as well try and get up there and see if I can.
Okay.
The final parting blow.
Okay, so you jog up to the ridge. That's like basically a turn's worth, and then make a athletics check.
Yep. Athletics. Did I train myself? I think I did. Nice. 18 total.
Okay, so you climb up it's just basically dirt and rock and some small cactus bits. You climb, you get up there. What is your range on Eldritch Blast? Or I'll tell you how far they are from you, if that was an easier way.
120 feet is Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so you're there. There's 40, 100.
If they're gone.
No, yeah. So the one that you can see, you can just barely see him because there are literally big cactuses between you and him, lots of them, and he's about 160 feet away. So you probably just like barely spot this like gangly spider thing hopping away.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you have anything that can strike at a range of 160 feet? He'd have 3/4 cover.
I'm checking right now. I don't think so.
Like a longbow or something. No.
Yeah, Eldritch Blast is my only like ranged and yeah.
Okay.
Just
So you make it atop the ridge, but he's just too far away, and there's too many blocking features of cacti. I will give you this. Being that you're up on the ridge, you have a nice view of the area.
That's what
on the far side of that large rock formation, you do see a little kind of dugout, like a den area that's going down into or under the rock formation.
Like a little hideout for them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You all have earned a milestone, by the way.
Yep. I'll call down and I'm like, looks like the 2 spiders are fleeing. They're not sticking around. Meet me over there. I point to like where the hideout is. I'm like, meet me on the other side of that rock.
Okay. Kivish, Lykarr, do you want to go and take a look with him?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So your group cuts around to the other side of this big rock formation. There's a small entryway leading into a den that's a small, bit funky smelling little place down there. There is some bits of webbing strung throughout it. So you're looking in, you're seeing like these like little bits of spider web coating the sides of the den tunnel.
I'll with my dark vision, like 120 feet, do I see like what's past that?
You pop your head in there. There are some husks of dead things that look to have been poisoned, and they're all the juicy bits eaten, like sucked out of them with spidery mandibles.
Guessing the cactus had a symbiotic relationship with the spiders.
All of the things that are dead in there look like they were animals, and you do see a couple of humanoid-looking things in there. They're pretty husked out at this point. Just dried out skin and bones.
Oh, they might have things on them, though.
This is possible.
I would say let's drag out some of the closest husks of the humanoids and see what's what. Keeping an eye out for eggs, of course. If there are eggs, then I'm just like torching.
Yeah.
All right. So Nox, you step into the tunnel. You just got to duck your head down just a slight bit, and the sticky spiderweb stuff is getting all over you.
Before I do that, before I just walk in there and the sticky spiderweb stuff, did I like cut through it with an Eldritch Blast?
The Eldritch Blast is just good against
It's force damage.
people, like living creatures. It's not a spell that can affect objects. But if someone just has maybe a torch or a lantern, you might be able to burn away the webs.
Sounds good. I will suggest.
Or if Lykarr has a fire cantrip.
Does anyone have a flame or some ability to produce flame? Or magic?
Some abilities to produce flame, you say. So what you're referring to is like some sort of a spell, perhaps even a cantrip, which allows one to produce flame. Yes, I can.
I push Kivish into the web stuff.
Yeah, Kivish. I am yin and yang, water and fire. Whoa!
A flickering flame appears in my hand and remains there for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes.
You can throw it at things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. All right, so you are you burning away webbing?
Yeah.
Okay. Just going to town, clearing it all out.
Try to avoid the husks if possible, but
Right.
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
All right. Yes, that is one of the ones I'm good at. All right. Cool. That is going to be a 19.
You are a master of producing fire and controlling your gift of spellcraft here, and you do not burn any of the husks in the slightest, but you clear a nice path and get all the nasty sticky bits that you can see from the entrance done. You maybe even scorch away a couple tarantula type guys. Not guys, but actual tarantulas. How about it? You want to go in there and take first dibs on what you find?
All right.
Does anyone else want to go in
out,
there?
Right?
Okay, you just pulling the stuff out? Okay.
Let's drag stuff out.
Yeah, let's drag it out. Yeah.
Okay. So you find a couple animal husks. I think whatever would be like the largest animals from around here. So maybe some kind of ram or goat. You also see two humanoid husks. They're fairly well just skeletal corpses. One is a human. It looks like probably one of the caver or wild folk. And then the other is a gnoll.
Yep.
So you pull out these corpses. Roll a D percentile.
Ooh, fun.
Kivish, right?
Kivish. This is going to be for apparent mundane gear that you find on them.
That's legit.
Not sure if I want to roll high or roll low.
High, yeah.
High, I got a 60. I mean, I got a 60 either way. I mean, that's better than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm. There is but one piece of mundane gear which is still salvageable from between both the corpses, which is a short sword. It seems like a run-of-the-mill short sword. There's going to be a couple more rolls, though. So there's a couple ways we can do this. If your party just wants to straight up split everything, we can just have someone else do the rolls, and you guys will split it out however you want. Or if someone wants to like specifically, my precious, this is mine. Like you'll make your own check and see what you can find.
Hey Kivish, you want those tarantulas? I mean, that's good eats. I'll give you those for the treasure.
I'll keep looking to see what there is, and anything. I'm open to the whole splitting thing. If you just want to make a couple of rolls, and I'll see what comes up. And
I mean, to be fair, still haven't gotten my pay, I suppose, for this whole endeavor. So let's see what comes up, and we can work something out.
Okay, so you tell Kivish to keep inspecting the corpses. Go ahead and make another D percentile.
12.
The caver man, he had on some old worn out boots. In one of the boots, you find 6 gold pieces.
All right.
And then roll once more a D percentile.
So 2 gold pieces each.
64.
You find a copper statuette of a hydra on the body of the knoll. You look it over. It doesn't have anything else in it. It's just pure copper. The craftsmanship is well made. It's fine. You would say it's a rough appraisal of 50 gold pieces. Nothing seems particularly special as you kind of handle it for a moment there. You don't feel any strange prickles along your fingertips suggesting of imbued mystical energies.
So it doesn't seem like it can be attuned to.
Well, it seems to be sheerly a work of art. And it's a statuette, so it's not too big. It'll fit just in the palm of your hand.
All right. Well, I'll give Noxiqual as payment the short sword and the couple of gold pieces, and then I'll ask him if he wants to let me hang on to this for now, or like go ahead and cut it up, or.
Let me just get this clear. You gave me an ordinary short sword and 6 gold pieces.
Yeah.
You want to keep this fine work of art.
Well, no, he's asking if you want to cut it up.
No, I don't want to cut it up. I'd rather sell it for its value, because once you cut it up, it's worth
literally the copper.
Well,
we can give the short sword to Marley.
Allow me to make a suggestion to you. You hold on to the short sword. We split the gold pieces. Each of us takes 2 gold pieces. And then I hold on to the statue, sell it for the full value, and then divide it among us.
All right, but Kivish does give Marley the short sword. That actually does seem like a good idea. He could use a proper weapon.
There you go. And Marley...
Oh, thank you. Oh, I've never seen anything like that in my life before. I thought these horses were going to trample me. They were so scared. He gives a few test cuts in the air, or maybe a couple stabs. Ah, a trusty blade. Oh, thank you.
Yes, it'll serve you well on my ship.
What's a pirate without a sword?
Indeed. But just make sure that you know where you're aiming at. I kind of look over at Kobe.
Kobe is hanging his head in shame.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like a failure.
Kobe the kitten. It's all right. So we've cleared out this little lair?
Yes, it does not lead anywhere, and you've extracted all that you can of value. Would you care to press on?
I think we should.
Okay.
We don't want to get...
Party presses onward in the cactus forest. The dry creek bed gives way to a muddy creek bed, which gives way to a creek that has actual water in it. The horses sniff it out, and they feel really inclined to drink from it. There are some grassy bits and reedy bits that are growing nearby, and they take some time grazing on that. The creek eventually leads to a spring, of course, a natural spring, sort of a pool here. There are some lily pads and what is it, cattails and some other reedy things here. A frog comes up to the surface, plops onto a big lily pad, and does that kind of like jerky thing and look right at Kivish.
Do you know that guy?
The frog
Actually.
speaks.
Oh, okay. To just me, or like an
You are the
understandable-
only one who understands
Okay.
it. The
All right.
non-druids do not understand what he is saying.
Oh, you speak frog.
Please leave a small donation in the pool. And then he just jumps off the bed, just like back into the water. Sploosh.
Okay, so it didn't give me a chance to respond.
Anyone want frog legs?
So this is the point where if I had that Hydra statuette, I would drop it in. But
That's
Since
why
I
I'm
had-
holding it.
since
Don't
I'm
trust
hanging
me.
on to 2 gold pieces, I'm gonna take a coin and I'm gonna drop it in. So I'm gonna be all.
Why are you throwing your money away?
All right, you drop a gold coin into the pool. Nothing happens.
All right. Well, he asked for a small donation. That was about as small
Kivish,
as
why are
it
you
gets.
throwing your money away?
Can you cast a spell with coins? Can you make your
Yes.
enemies afraid of gold?
Yes.
Can you eat money?
Not yet, no. But I can buy things with the money that I can eat.
He looks at you generally in a sort of slightly dismissive and like shrugging his shoulders way, as if to say, like, I don't understand this. This concept is not centuries old.
You
Why would you think in such a non-geological time scale?
I look in the pool.
that's-
Is there like money like at the bottom of the pool, or what's in the bottom of the pool?
The pool is murky. It is impossible to see the bottom.
What if one were to mage hand some of the
sight.
murk away?
Okay. You take your mage hand,
Kind of just sift some of the murk away.
swirl away some of the silt that's in
Yeah.
the water, the turgidity.
Yep.
And your warlock eye pierces down through the shadows. You do see there are some coins at the bottom, but not very many. A couple copper pieces, here a silver, there a gold. Not much.
Mm.
Someone's used this as a wishing pool.
Wishing.
You do see there are also some tadpoles, and that big old frog he's swimming around near the bottom.
Interesting. Is this some sort of wishing pool? All right. Well, if you won't answer, then I'll.
Oh, you were asking. So you're asking it to me. I thought you were just speculating that. Oh.
No.
Well, the frog said to leave a donation in the pool. A monetary donation. So,
I don't listen to frogs. Sounds like a foolish thing to do.
well, you do not speak the language of the land. And then I say something.
I also have my gold pieces.
I say something in Druidic and something in Sylvan, just to like further emphasize that point.
Howl, snarl, hoot, ribbit, bah.
I suggest we continue on now that
Yeah.
Okay, so the party decides to give up on the strange pool and to continue forth through the cactus forest.
I mean,
Was there any indication that something might have happened? If I had it done something else?
I don't know if I
mean,
can answer that question, but
yeah.
nothing. There was no apparent result to dropping a single gold coin in.
All right. I figure it'd be like one of those things where it becomes apparent later on, like further down the line, you notice that things in the region are treating you more nicely because you donated to like the king of the spirits.
No, the frog just wanted you to give him money. He's like, kiss me, I'm a prince. Oh.
The ground after this returns back to. I mean, it never really changed significantly, but the creek now is left behind you. You continue onwards deeper into the cactus forest. Somewhere near an hour after this of travel, you come across a small rocky hill that is growing thick with cacti, and it has a cave mouth. Near the front of the cave, you see two of those cactus creatures, the same ones that had flung their spines at you before. And they don't have mouths, they don't talk. So they are communicating with one another in a very rudimentary gesture form. But more than that, they look to be on watch. They look like they're guarding this cave mouth.
Are they doing like kind of like marching patrol back and forth?
Something like that. It's not so formal as a march, but they are looking about the place, moving slowly. Yeah, they have the general look of sentries.
Cool. Let's avoid that place since we're just trying to pass through here. Unless we want to get into a troublesome adventure, I suppose. What do you guys think?
Yeah, so something's going to happen really fast. So does anyone else have like a quick reaction to what you just saw?
To seeing them?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to go ahead and cast a spell, which is a bonus action casting time.
Okay.
And use my, well, I would use a Leaf of Sumac, but I'm feeling like using my Druidic Focus, so I pull out the nymph carved out of rosewood with the black pearls for eyes, and I motion like I'm opening her eyes, and thus she becomes the hilt of a fiery blade that I evoke in my hand.
Okay.
Similar in size and shape to a scimitar, and lasts for the duration, which is concentration of 10 minutes.
Yes, you're preparing to fight these guys.
You draw a flaming scimitar from your druidic focus.
Quick question. Point of order. Do we have a short rest between the last battle on this?
That's a good question. We didn't specifically mention it, but more than an hour has passed, so we'll say it's short rest. You guys are moving at a slow pace, so
if you want to spend your hit dice, now would be a good time to do it.
All right, I'm going to spend 3.
Yep. I'm just recovering my spell slots. That's why I asked.
Okay, good. Lykarr, what about you? What would you do during a short rest? Roll hit dice?
You guys got hit, so...
Yeah.
And the wound closure thing gives me a +1 for each, right?
Double. So roll like as normal, and then double it.
Double it. Okay,
Yeah,
so I rolled
you got a
15,
godly boon.
So double it to 30, and that's going to bring me back up to full.
Nice.
More than full, because I still have those temporary hit points from Involvement in the Summer Court.
Excellent.
Wait, temporary hit points come off first. How do you still have them?
Because I actually haven't been hit.
Yeah, I don't think he got hit after he used the Balm of the Summer Court.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, hey, Dennis. Have you used your sorcery points just ever? Or I wanted to ask you about that because I have a sorcerer in my home group, and I've played one before too, and the sorcery points are really cool. You get them back, I think at a long rest, if I'm not mistaken.
It would
I
make
think so.
sense at long rest.
And you can like alter your spells with them. You should have two options, like quick spell, empowered spell, silent spell.
When, yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think I.
You can also convert sorcery points to get back spell slots. You can do that as just a bonus action. And you can also sacrifice spell slots to get sorcery points. So you can, it's real
Interchangeable.
interchangeable, yeah.
Okay,
I just want to mention it to you because I don't think you've used it. I can't remember, and it's a real cool thing to use with the sorcerer.
Right, we haven't really been in any dire combat where I've needed anything.
Well, you have 6. You have 1 per sorcerer level.
Right.
So, it's a cool thing to use. Don't got to be too worried about it. But I just want to remind you about that. Yep. Okay, so let's get back to the present moment. Kivish draws his blade of flame. What about you, Lykarr? Do you have any like quick knee-jerk reaction on seeing these creatures?
Just gonna scan the area because where there's one, there's usually more. So
okay, make a perception check.
Okay. 18.
You do not see any more. You only see the 2. So truly there are just 2, or the others would be hiding very well. Okay. What about Noxiqual?
I was gonna suggest that we continue on and then like flame blade, he like lightsabered his flame blade, and I'm like,
okay, so Noxiqual is
happen. So I thought we were getting attacked, but yeah.
Okay. Noxiqual is a bit taken aback. What's happening? And the 2 things, they just like give a glare, and then they scuttle inside the cave.
Oh, so they saw us.
Yep.
Oh, I assume that they hadn't seen us yet.
Yeah, like simultaneously.
Is that what the reaction would have been like when they saw us?
Mm-hmm.
Would it be all right then to change my action?
Sure, go for it.
I would have if they actually saw us, I'd probably try and kill them quickly. So I'd fling a hex, not a hex, but
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast, one at each of them.
Yep, go ahead. They have half cover.
All right, I'm sitting at a 28 and a 11, so probably 1 hit.
28 absolutely hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna do my damage. 4 points of force damage on that as my reaction action.
Okay, so you do clip one of them. Again, they don't have much in the way of physical heartiness, so even the 4 damage seemed to hurt the thing notably. They scuttle inside of the cave mouth. You all are about 60 or so feet away from this cave.
With my dark vision, can I still see them inside the cave?
You do not see them. They look like they went downwards.
Understood. Well, I guess we either try to stop them. Let's see if we can.
Yeah.
At least pursue them to the cave entrance. I would. Because if I can clip them, with another shot like that, I might be able to take them out.
Okay. You start approaching. The cave mouth it's a big one. Good-sized cave mouth here. I don't know, maybe a good 8 feet wide and even taller than that. So kind of like a thing, oddly shaped, just natural formation. The hill is not too large, rocky, cacti, scraggly hill. You start approaching the cave mouth. You get pretty close to it. What order are you all in? Do you have any specific grouping or ordering with your move here?
I thought Noxiqual went first, but I
Okay.
could also go at the head if need be.
I'll go first in this particular case.
Okay, so Nox, Kivish, Lykarr.
Sure.
You begin your approach. You've gotten very close to the cave mouth. You're, say, 15 feet away from the cave mouth when a strange creature comes scuttling out in, like, all in a fuss.
Like a kind of creature?
Yes, it is. I'm going to give you a nice description here.
Lykarr, I think you're up.
Okay. So the thing comes scuttling out of the dark of the cave. It has a spider-like body. The body is covered in bluish fur, and at the end of each of its feet, you know how spiders have kind of those like claws like that? They're somewhat humanoid-like. The spider guys you were just fighting, they had hands kind of like that too, like in between arachnid and humanoid. An odd thing. It also almost has in these like weird spidery bulbous eyes, there's almost a sentience looking. It also does have a bit of clothing. There are some sort of like wrappings, and it has a sash like on its body. It has a intelligent or civilized look to it. I think it also has like some bracelets too, like some bracelets made of bronze and brass. Strange looking thing. Has gnarly fanged mandibled mouth.
So
and it just comes scuttling out. Who are you?
I'll lean in towards Lykarr. I'm like, I believe it's Caraxia. Do it now.
What am I doing?
We discussed.
What?
I forgot.
It's all right. You're going to Alpha Strike with your most powerful lightning magic to try and basically dissuade them from, wanting to fuck with us.
Yeah.
And say something badass while you're doing it too, because get a good one-liner.
All right, so
Okay.
Lykarr gets ready to like cast some spells. Roll for initiative.
Yeah. I say, Caraxia, we come to,
Okay, all right. I get a natural 20 plus. Oh, it's only one? Okay. I thought I had more initiative bonus.
Yeah.
It's still 20.
Oh, shit. 22 here.
I got an 18.
Nice. A nice grouping. Hopefully Kobe the Lion used his, solo hit die to, heal himself.
I think he has 2 hit die.
You should definitely use one of them to heal himself.
Yeah, he would have taken the healing from the short rest as well. Yeah, he has 2 hit die.
To get randomly one-shotted.
Yeah, he has 2 hit dice.
Good.
Okay. And we'll put Marley in for good measure. Okay. Who got the 22? Was that Nox? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Who's at the 22?
21 is Kivish.
Okay. And then 18 Lykarr, right?
Yep.
So this escalates quickly. It looks like everybody's about ready to strike here, including Caraxia herself. She has this nasty venom dripping from her fangs. She has lightning blue lightning rippling off of her claws. She has a really weird voice that's mumbling stuff. You don't know what the hell is about to happen. Noxiqual, you actually get the jump on the whole group here. You can also see those needle creatures like just like the heads of a couple of them coming up behind her. They're a little more cautious and slinky though.
So Caraxia looks like the fight's going down. What was I could have swore the advice was to hit her with like your most powerful like lightning, and then she might back down to talk or something.
The lightning was mentioned that she had some lightning power.
Yeah.
And then the other not really related thing was that she operates on or recognizes, respects sheer power.
Yeah. Then, all right.
Yeah, we need to hit her hard with our best spells up in the front.
That seems good. Let's all just smack her around, and then we'll call to talk. Let's let one round of showing her what we've got, and then we'll try and sue for peace, if that makes sense. Are you fine?
Okay.
So,
what do you got, Nox?
Yep, what Noxiqual's doing. Bonus action, my blade actually transforms. This is the ability today thing. And the eye opens up, and the blade itself becomes like a black mist that kind of like just slowly, like it's still in the shape of a blade, but it's like kind of got this after effect, trails after it. So it becomes a shadow blade. And then let's see, that was my bonus. How far away is she?
15 feet. She 15 feet. She just scuttled out of the mouth of the cave, and she's right there in front of you.
I like to this is like an intimidation kind of thing. I'm running up. I'm gonna slash her. I'm also gonna like say something like, "You will respect our power, Caraxia, and let us pass through your realm." And then I like hit her with my last shot here. So I get 2 attacks with this.
Okay.
Which goes up to, let me just check the Shadow Blade. I think it's 3d8. Psychic damage too. Finesse. Could even throw it if I wanted to. Ooh, wait a second. Are we in area of dim light or darkness?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I didn't know what the cave, like what the time of day was.
Yeah, she's scuttled out of the cave.
Okay. I didn't know what time of day. All right.
Okay, that's still daytime.
All right. Here we go. Does a 21 and a 17.
All right. Roll the damage on the 21, and then something's going to happen.
Yep. Sorry, I have to find all these dice. Because I have not used this ability before. Right, that's for that. She's not by chance celestial, right?
No.
Just checking.
No.
All right. Let's see. 20 psychic damage.
20 psychic damage. Okay.
As basically the blade seems to pass right through her, while actually cutting the skin.
All right, so she is struck by the kind of wraith blade here. Where you strike her, even though it's not really a physical thing, a blood spray comes out right at you. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Sure. There we go. 14.
14 is not a success. You sustain 8 poison damage.
I'm taking it now. And so that was the first hit, and then
your second swipe of your blade is the blow comes for her. She like flicks up one of her claws, and there is a shield of lightning. It blocks the attack, and this is an attack against you. Yep. It's a sort of a riposte. This is her reaction here is what this is.
Understood. Yep.
Okay, where are we at? There we go. 22.
22 to
22
hit.
to hit.
Wait. I was deciding whether or not to cast shield. Shield would not save me.
Okay.
Sorry.
Crackle. 11 lightning damage.
11 lightning. Got it. Okay.
Okay, so Caraxia comes out fighting something fierce. Kivish.
But that would probably be her reaction.
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
that was a reaction.
Right.
Also, your reaction, you cannot use reactions until
Until
your next
her
turn.
next turn. Or-
Yeah, you got zapped there.
Yeah.
All right. So now, remind me again. You can only have one concentration spell going at a time.
Correct.
All right. So I'm actually going to dismiss my flame blade and then ready in action to cast Call Lightning at the precise moment when Lykarr casts some lightning.
Okay.
You wanna double down on that lightning.
Yeah.
It should
All right,
be
so
like
you're-
immune.
I want to do like in the game Magicka, where you all like chain your beams into one big beam that like blows the crap out of everything you shoot it at.
If only 5th edition worked like
All right. So you're preparing the spell to go over there. Caraxia herself mumbles some kind of strange spell of her own. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
It's a good thing I'm good at wisdom. I'm dying.
that.
Well, I got a 19.
Drop my
Success.
die on the floor. I got a 19.
That's
Get a 20.
highly
Just different.
successful. All there is no apparent effect. Let's see if she has anything else that she wants to do. No, she stands her ground defiantly. Lykarr.
So you want me to do a lightning attack?
I mean, do your most powerful attack.
Well, that'll be my fireball.
And do your fireball.
Okay.
That's what I was going to say.
The fireball explodes. Kivish's lightning bolt strikes down.
I'll just,
Both are deck saves.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
First against fireball.
and I assume that you
17.
can aim the fireball so it doesn't hit me. Yeah?
Yeah, I cast it behind her to hopefully take out some of them little spiky dudes, too.
Yeah, those spiky dudes are probably all dead.
And okay, she's gonna. I'm sure it's a save against both. It's 17 and 19. Spiky dudes are just gonna be dead. I don't want to roll it for them.
So half damage on each of your things.
Uh-huh.
Is she resistant to any fire or lightning?
No.
Good to know.
Round it up or down?
Down.
Down. So
Yeah,
half
it's,
of
it's
19
always round down
rounded
unless
down is
specifically
9.
the thing says otherwise.
All right. Yeah. So half of 19 rounding down 9.
Okay.
All right, well, she'll take half of 34 is 17.
Okay.
So I did 20, you did 17.
And then I'll use my, maybe it doesn't really do anything, but it's called Tempestuous Magic.
Mm-hmm.
I get the swirling gusts of elemental air come around me and basically it lifts me up in the ground, off the ground 10 feet and prevents any opportunity attacks on me.
Okay, nice. So you're levitating above the
Yeah.
ground now.
With all the lightning.
Yeah, elemental power fusing your body, infusing your body. You knocked out 2 of the needle things, the ones that were right, like shambling up right behind her. So you just fried both of those guys. Kobe and Marley are not inclined to engage this foe. They stay back and they dodge.
Yeah, good call.
Noxiqual.
It's back to me. Beautiful. I will hexblade curse. And I'll say, do you yield? As like my curse like takes effect on them.
Her strange mandibles chitter at you defiantly.
I'll take that as a no as I swing my sword at her neck. The shadow sword.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let's see how this goes. Nice. Those are both 21 to hit.
Those are both hits.
All right. And because of the curse, a little extra damage on this. Do you want me to just roll it all at once? Total it all up?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you want to interrupt me with any sort of reaction sort of stuff?
There is going to be the poison spray, 2 of them.
All right. I'll do them one at a time, though, because of the poison spray then. Because you never know what might happen.
Okay.
I don't think you can drop me with a poison spray, but yeah. All right. Let's see. That's 19 psychic damage there from 1 hit. How much poison?
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, yes, that's right. That one is going to be an 18.
Okay. Success. Okay, so you just avoid it. Go ahead to your next attack.
Next damage is, oh, yes, 2 8s. And so that's going to be 28 psychic damage on that. I rolled 2 8s on the D8.
Woo! Okay. She does not actually utilize her poison spray, and Caraxia repositions her body. She kind of like stands up, but 2 of her hands are doing these strange gestures.
Who are you that commands such power?
Yeah, like I feel like I slashed her a couple times, and like her shadow is actually like writhing around, and it looks like the shadow is making like it's being hit, where her body is not.
She is very bewildered by that, and she is like, well, bug-eyed at the whole party.
I'm gonna.
Such power you beings possess. Who are you?
I am Captain Noxiqual, and you will surrender to me and my party.
I am the guardian of the Cactus Forest. I have dwelled here for 200 years. You do not command me. Strike me down. Kill me. The land will rise up against you.
We do not seek to usurp your position here. We seek only passage through your lands. And we wish to demonstrate to you that we have the power. Take that.
Yes, yes. Much indeed you do. Are you of House Eck?
No. We despise House Eck.
Why? They have many secrets. Secrets that I covet. Do you know what happened to that lovely granddaughter they had?
Which one was that?
Rosie,
They had the 3.
the one with the pretty curly red hair.
Red hair. Was that...
That was the one we ignored.
Yeah, I think that...
They were the
one who
daughters,
didn't-
I thought, not the granddaughter.
Yeah.
I chose black hair. I thought you chose red hair, Lykarr.
No, I thought that was the daughters. He's saying this is a granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Ah, Lykarr makes a good point.
Yep, he does.
She did say granddaughter of the Eck family.
I was not aware that there was a granddaughter.
Please tell us your story.
His daughters were unmarried older women with no children.
Well, age jumping, but yes.
I will ask her to tell us her story.
Yes, please.
The red-haired one with a soul of fire who could make demons dance in the middle of the night. I heard her cries in my sleep, even in my dreams. Oh, is she dead? Is she gone?
Is she the one that is taking the souls from children?
Souls of children? Who would do such a terrible thing?
Someone from the Horncomb Lodge.
Ah, it cannot be.
I assure you it is. The man over here, I kind of thumb over towards
Marley.
Marley. I'm like, his
Marley's like hiding in a bush, like
his woman was one of those involved in such rites, dark rites in the middle of the night. But
You are married to the granddaughter, firehead of the Eck family?
No, I'm Eppenkoff, not Eck, please. Oh, good. What is that?
No.
Why do you travel with such cowards when you are so powerful?
They serve the more powerful, as does the natural order of things. The weak must serve the strong, no?
Very well. How about we have a little trade? I'll take him.
She points a claw towards Kobe the lion.
And you can have one of my servitors.
The little cactus guys. Cacti.
She looks around. There's just charred marks on the ground.
Oh.
I don't think you have anyone to trade at this time.
I have others.
It is all right. Kobe the lion is worth more than one of those. I kind of like hesitate for a second. My eyes kind of like go off the distance. One of those cactus folk.
Worth more than one of them, yes.
To me. And then I'll like whisper, like, to me. So.
I am not pleased with your defiance of House Eck. I sought to ally with them.
It might be a little bit late for such action.
I believe, indeed, I believe Kyle Eck may be on his deathbed if he is not already dead.
But how can that be? He seemed to be an immortal.
An immortal who bought his powers by stealing from a god.
Gods! Bleh! The gods are dead and gone, and serves them right.
Not Morpheus.
Meddling things they are. Leave us to our own designs.
Hyraxia, you said you know many secrets of the X family. Tell me.
Maybe I do, and maybe I do.
I ask, how did you find out these secrets if you have always lived here in this cactus forest, far away from the Horncomb Lodge?
You think I'm a prisoner here, boy?
I think nothing. I'm merely asking.
I can talk. Don't you hear me now?
Indeed. Did you visit the X?
Maybe we met in the middle. Played a little fiddle and little hey diddle diddle.
How interesting. Tell me.
Have you ever danced with a devil in the pale moonlight?
I have met a devil. In
Not
this
in Georgia.
He did me service. But that's neither here nor there. I'm curious, why would you want to ally with the X? They're a weak family.
Then why are you running away from them?
Who said we were running away from them?
I saw you running from them.
Did you now? When did you see this?
4 days ago. Out there in the wastelands.
Interesting. You mistook running away for our taking something back to the temple. The temple, should I forget the name of it?
Ambrosia.
Ambrosia Temple, thank you. Yes, the Ambrosia Temple.
As far as I could see, you came through my forest to avoid going back there because you're afraid of what they might do to you. Look at him in the bushes. He's practically pissing his trousers.
I'm sure he is. But
The X, after my majestic self, are the authorities in these lands. It would be wise to ally with them. What do you want? Ally with barbarians in the caves?
or the Knolls.
The gnolls are nearly dead. Serves them right too.
Or with Brecca the Rock, or Kikon, One Eye.
Ah, Brecca, I like her.
Me too.
Yes. Let me propose something to you. You say that you're disappointed that we cannot deliver a message to the X for you on Alliance that you want, but perhaps we can provide you with something that you wanted from them.
And what might that be?
You tell me. Why did you seek the Alliance?
Are you saying that I can name my treasure and you will bring it to me from the X very vaults?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, tell me what you want, and I will consider possibly helping you.
Bring me the contents of their scroll rack.
I'll consider this request. Will you tell me more?
I want to hear your terms first.
Terms are for those who are making a bargain. I was simply listening to what you want. And then considering whether it's something that would benefit us. If this benefits us, perhaps it's something we would do.
This conversation bores me. Go about your way, but don't let me catch you snooping around my lair anymore.
I am amenable to this. Come, let us be gone from this place.
If it makes any difference, I would inform her that I did leave a little tip with her frog at the door.
Frog? What frog? Is this a joke?
He is referring to the pool of water.
Kivish shrugs and answers, perhaps.
I know nothing of such a frog. Good day. She scuttles back inside her cave. She mumbles something to herself about having to clean up charred chunks of needle cactus. Yeah.
Just don't call them cactars. Final Fantasy will sue. Yeah.
You all have achieved a milestone.
That was good, guys.
Yeah, we're raking in the milestones
Yeah,
here.
really.
Got a little bit of damage on me from that. I was a little worried, but Alpha Striking seemed to work.
Yeah, you all put some pretty intense attacks on her and made the wisdom saving throw. That was the kicker.
Yeah, that wisdom saving throw. I was worried. I was like, that's probably a shutdown ability of like you're out of the fight for X amount of time.
Yeah. Well, it is fortunately the one, for me anyway, that not only is my best skill or ability, but I'm also proficient in.
Yes, Druid is very good with wisdom saving throws. Cleric too.
My wisdom is an 8. So, but my wisdom save is a +2, so I guess I'm trained in it.
Warlock has wisdom and charisma, right? As the
Makes
proficient.
sense. Yeah, there's wisdom and charisma. That's their
Nice, nice.
How old is Noxiqual approximately?
How old is Noxiqual? Well, that's very personal. Have you asked him?
Well, because I was going to say, since I'm a dwarf, I'm
You're just a wee
older.
one.
I was going to say I'm twice as old and literally twice as wise. But
Noxiqual's 800 years old. Don't worry about it. We worked it all out. He was there when the Mer Queen, it all went down.
I think this is a good place to pause for the night. Next time we'll pick up with you all continuing through the cactus forest. You've gone. Yeah, you're basically getting to the middle point now.
Perfect. And we've dealt with the Guardian at least, so we at least kind of know where we stand.
Mm-hmm.
Does. So.
Yeah, she said, go about your way, just leave me alone.
Pretty much, but at the same time, she also told us something that she wants, so if we ever want to get on a good side, we bring her those scrolls from the scroll rack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She would be very happy with the scrolls. She also seemed to want a stronger alliance with House Eck.
Yeah, and to be fair, we could probably negotiate with whoever ends up. I kind of feel like it's very like political, but if we wanted to do it, we could be like, well, Lord Kyle's dead. You're now head of the Eck family, nephew, or whoever the heck you are. You know.
Or if we get real lucky, maybe Brekka will sit on the throne and just refuse to move, and will just like let us come in there and do whatever we want because she's our friend. And,
I think there's some stuff that's still going to happen at the Horncomb Lodge. We may have to go back there someday,
probably.
but right now I have no desire to go back.
Yeah, it would be a
Not till
big
we
detour.
gain, not till we gain a lot of power, and we can
Yeah.
go back there and just be like, "Oh, you've got 20 soldiers. We have ice storms or something."
Well played, gentlemen. Well played.
Yeah, thanks for running, Esper.
Always my pleasure.
Yeah, this was awesome.
That it was. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll look forward to the next one.
Indeed.